Legends never die. When the world is calling you, can you hear them screaming out your name? Legends never die. They become a part of you. Every time you bleed for reaching greatness, relentless, you survive. They never lose hope when everything's cold and the fighting's near. It's deep in their bones, they'll rot into smoke when the fire is fierce. Oh, pick yourself up, 'cause legends never die. When the world is calling you, can you hear them screaming out your name? Legends never die. They become a part of you. Every time you bleed for reaching greatness, legends never die. They're written down in eternity, but you'll never see the price it costs. The scars collected all their lives. When everything's lost, they pick up their hearts and avenge defeat. Before it all starts, they suffer through harm just to touch a dream. Oh, pick yourself up, 'cause legends never die. When the world is calling you, can you hear them screaming out your name? Legends never die. They become a part of you. Every time you bleed for reaching greatness, legends never die. When the world is calling out your name, begging you to fight. Pick yourself up once more. Pick yourself up, 'cause legends never die. When the world is calling you, can you hear them screaming out your name? Legends never die. They become a part of you. Every time you bleed for reaching greatness, legends never die.
There's a fire that burns inside. It's an instinct that never lies. The target's tattooed between our eyes. Stand and fight under the lights on the higher stage. A part of your life they can't take away. Just like the blood running through your veins. Everyone's watching through your eyes. There's only two options: win or die. Win or die. Win or die. It went from a spark to an open flame. Now destiny's calling out your name. So reply, so reply. Ignite. There's a power that's underneath, and you can't see it till you believe. On the edge of infinity. Feel the rush under the lights on the higher stage. A part of your life they can't take away. Just like the blood running through your veins. Everyone's watching through your eyes. There's only two options, win or die. Win or die. Win or die. And went from a spark to an open flame. Now destiny's calling out your name. So reply, so reply. And ignite. Ignite. watched from far away, but you always knew that you'd be the one to work while they all play. And you'd lay awake at night and scheme of all the things that you would change, but it was just a dream. Here we are, don't turn away now. We are the warriors that built this town. Here we are, don't turn away now. We are the warriors that built this town. The time will come when you will have to rise above the rest and prove yourself. Your spirit never dies. Farewell, I've gone to take my throne above, but don't weep for me, 'cause this will be the labor of my love. Here we are, don't turn away now. We are the warriors that built this town. Here we are, don't turn away now. We are the warriors that built this town. Here we are, don't turn away now. We are the warriors that built this town. Here we are, don't turn away now. We are the warriors that built this town. From dust.
Serious. Momo was.
Good morning, everyone. We are here in Jönköping, Sweden for the Season 1 Championships. So we're at the Riot booth here with our Spin to Win board. You can take a spin here and get some cool things like stickers, a Riot fist bump. There's a free one for you. A Demacian war cry, which we will have a demonstration right here. 1, 2, 3, Demacia, okay? 1, 2, 3.
Demacia!
Woo! Awesome. And best of all, you can spin the wheel for a free, oh, it's not on here right now. So we're having a free DreamHack Tryndamere skin. You can get your exclusive here this weekend, and you can get it for free. Just spin our board and hang out. Come on over and see our swag. Here's Andrew Beagle, also known as Tamit, and Leo from the EU office. And best of all, every afternoon we're doing a Rioters versus DreamHack match. So come here, fill out a card, and we'll have a raffle, and you can play one of us 5 Rioters, including David Freak Turley. You can tell him to get on your level, which is awesome. And it's going to be a lot of fun, so come on over. We're on the DreamHack floor, and come join us. And now over to Traveler.
Hey guys, Traveler here, and I'm over in the free play area. Not open yet, but it will be open soon. And some of you guys over there can come play some League of Legends. We also have our writers over here. Hey guys, photographers, what's up? So the writers will be giving us a play-by-play on the web, and that's it for over here. Let's go talk to Daniel, who's going to be talking programming. Hey guys, Traveler here, and I'm over in the free play area. not open yet, but it will be open soon. And some of you guys over there can come play some League of Legends. We also have our writers over here. Hey guys, photographers, what's up? So the writers will be giving us a play-by-play on the web, and that's it for over here. Let's go talk to Daniel, who's going to be talking programming.
How's it going, guys? Welcome to the tournament area. All the blood, sweat, and tears and all the hard work and emotion here to be poured out on this playing field here. 5v5 Summoner's Rift to go down. Myself, Rivington III, and Xenon here to bring some of the action to you this weekend. Everybody's getting set up on their beautiful Alienware laptops, just getting ready. What was the long road for these guys, Xenon?
There were 3 qualifiers that these people had to go through: a European qualifier, a North American qualifier, and a Southeast Asian qualifier. And all of them were really, really hard fought. And we have the first 4 teams setting up here right now. This is Group A. These are the first group matches we're going to see. We see Epic Gaming set up here right now. And they are going to face the Titans from Europe, AAA, who are about to get ready over here. And for later in the day, we have Team Pacific versus Fnatic, who are also set up and ready. Rivington, this is where it's going to be decided. This is where the $100,000 prize purse is going to be won, or not won, as the case may be. This is where it's going to go down, and I think we're going to give over to Freak and Joe Miller in the casting booth now.
Hello everybody and welcome to the League of Legends, my own game, I can't say it right. League of Legends Season 1 $100,000 Championship, the global finals. I'm David Freak Turley, I'm joined here with Joe Miller. Hello. Hello. And we are at DreamHack Summer 2011 in Jönköping, Sweden, and I cannot be happier to be here. This is an incredibly crazy event. We have thousands of people watching online, hundreds of people watching here in person, and more are going to come in over the course of the days. We've got dozens of best-of-3s to be played. We've got dozens of games. 8 teams, the best in the world. We're getting the first one started out very, very shortly. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, and it's going to be a little bit of something close to our hearts, I would say. North America versus Europe, of course, against All Authority, against Epic. And Freak, obviously, we will be starting off with Group A, first of all, today. We'll be moving over later into Group B. And in a little while, we'll be able to show you that schedule that we've got coming up for the first games of the day in Group A. But Epic versus AAA, an amazing, amazing game to start off with.
Yeah, I really couldn't be happier with the first game of the day. We've got the very top seed from Europe against All Authority, French team, well, 4 French plus 1, against Epic Gaming, who have been a really cool sleeper hit from North America. They're the #2 seed, American team, and they're kind of known to get silver medals, is the funny thing. Last year at World Cyber Games USA, they lost to CLG in a really, really close final for the trip to WCG World. And then here in the North American qualifiers, they got second place again, where they made it all the way through the winner bracket, and then Solomid just beat him out at the very end. So a silver medal team so far, but I'm really looking forward to this. Of course, it is North America versus Europe. I'm stuttering like a madman, and it's going to be just crazy awesome.
Well, let's take a look at the schedule for Group A that we'll be bringing you first of all here on the League of Legends stream from the Championship. So, as we said, against All Authority versus Epic Gaming will be match number 1. Then we'll be moving over onto Fnatic versus Team Pacific. And obviously a lot of people really excited to see one of these Southeast Asian teams in action, see how they're going to do, and maybe even more importantly, how they, what kind of style they bring. Are they going to pull out some crazy things that we don't regularly see from Europe or North America?
I'm not sure so much about what strategies guys are preparing. Of course, if we ask them, oh, what secret strategy do you have for the next match? they're not going to tell us.
you.
They're not going to tell us, right? So if we're like, hey, so AAA, what's your lineup going to be? And they're like, oh, 5 fiddlesticks is mid, obviously. And I'm just going to believe them, right? Because they know better than I do. But though a couple of the teams are actually known for running some special strategies. Epic Gaming actually specifically runs slightly off-kilt lineups. In Group B, Gamed DE is known for some special picks as well. So those are I think, the teams to watch for super innovation. But also the Southeast Asian teams, we haven't seen play at all. We have almost no knowledge of the real strategies, aside from a couple interviews we've had with the players. Team Zan seems to like Pantheon, and there's a thread about that on the forums, and people were like, Pantheon, please. But last year people were like, Twisted Fate, who plays him? And he proved to be quite powerful still. So we're probably going to see a lot of really new innovations and cool strategies. I was actually watching Fnatic play just like 5 minutes ago, and I saw a little secret champion they had a little prepared there. So we're going to see if that plays out in Group A. Actually, Fnatic's the 3rd seed, so we'll be actually seeing them next game. So I'm very intrigued to see what the special strategies are that might show up.
Yeah, just to give you a little bit of a rundown, in the group stage it will be best of 1 game. So, it's all or nothing in the group stage on each game. As we move through into the playoffs, obviously, which will be coming up tomorrow and also Monday, then we'll be moving into the best of 3 format. So, really, this group stage, you lose 1 game and you could be in a little bit of trouble. So, I think we'll see some safe play, but maybe from those underdog teams, something a little bit risky to beat out the the favorites of the groups.
Yeah, and the way the groups work right here is it's 4 teams per group. And the number 1 seed out of the group, if you win all your games, you're guaranteed top 4. You're guaranteed into the double elimination tournament. It's going to work really well for you. You're guaranteed top 4. You're guaranteed to make it if you go 3-0. Done. If you go 0-3, if you're last place, you're out of the tournament. And we're playing both groups today. So Group A and Group B, the 4th seed from each, going home. Well, not going home. The flights are still later in the week, but they're done for the tournament. So at the end of today, we're going to have a guaranteed top 4 team and a guaranteed out of the tournament team from each group. And then from there, we have the 2nd and 3rd seeds. And basically, they're doing a little crisscross pattern here, where the 2nd seed from Group A is going to play the 3rd from Group B, and vice versa. And the winner of those matches, those 2 matches, are also going into the double elimination group stage. So you really, really, really want Seed 1. Seed 2 gives you an advantage in that relegation match against the other group. So you want to do as well as you can, obviously. If you lose 1 match, you're not out at all. You can still get 2 and 1, you can still get 2nd seed, or you can have a 3-way tie and still get 1st. There's 100 different things that can happen in the groups, but obviously everyone wants to win.
So let's talk about this game a little bit more in depth. Freak, who's your favorite for this epic against All Authority clash?
It's going to be close. So I'm going to put this out here right away. We're in Europe and I'll get booed for it, but I'm American and I'm going to cheer for the North American teams. I really, I know. I really do want to cheer for the Southeast Asian teams. I'm a huge fan of underdogs. If you haven't been proven, if you're all heart and no results, I want you to win. I want you to do well. And I would love to see Zan and Pacific just crush faces and go 3-0 in 12-minute games. And it's going to be crazy. And so, who do I think is going to win? I mean, Against All Authority is the number 1 seed, right? If I'm going to consider both continents equal, the number 1 seed should beat number 2. So I think AAA are the favorites, but I'm going to pull for Epic, and then the next game I'm going to pull for Team Pacific.
Well, there we go then. I guess I'm with Against All Authority, which is not such a bad deal for me. But before we go into the game, we've got Karen in the pro gaming area, and she's going to interview the teams.
Hello, I'm here with a member of Team Fnatic playing in Group A today. Would you introduce yourself for all our viewers?
Yes, I'm Sushi. I'm from Poland, and I play for Fnatic for around half a year at the moment. And I'm pretty happy that I'm in this team. I love the guys, totally. Yes.
Great, we're so happy that you're here. And I heard you have a little bit of a special sauce that you brought for the match. Could you explain that for us?
Well, I was gonna bring that, but the security at the airport didn't let me move that through the plane, and sadly I don't have my homemade brew, but at the Germany, at IMM, I had some, and guys said it's really delicious.
Wonderful. And what did you do to prepare for this match?
Because the servers were kind of failing on the Europe side, so we had to practice individually in the solo queue. Like Lamia was duo queuing with Melisande to practice their bottom lane, and me, Pekka, and Cyanide were practicing our champions in solo queue as well.
Great. I mean, you guys are so awesome, you don't need to practice anyway, right? You guys got this.
Well, you cannot say you don't need practice. You always can get better. There's always someone better than you, so it's good to train, and yeah.
Great. And what is, do you guys have like a team motto for the weekend? Like, what do you guys, what is your goal here at DreamHack?
Well, obviously wanna win like everyone, and we hope we can manage to do that and give a good performance for fans and stuff.
Great. Well, best of luck. Thanks for talking to us, and have fun.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
All right, and welcome back to the casting booth. We are here getting ready to go the very first game of the tournament, Against All Authority versus Epic Gaming. And this is really going to set the stage, I think, for the North America-Europe rivalry, for the tournament in general. These are two of the top teams, number 1 and number 2 seed from two of the regions. And I really just can't wait to see it. I really have nothing else to say except I just can't wait to see it.
Yeah, the first game of the tournament always one which could pull out a few surprises. You know, the teams have not played it all really today. Obviously, some of them had a little bit of a warm-up, but mostly they're coming into this one cold. And a first seed from Europe against second seed from North America, an amazing matchup. And I think we are ready to go with this one. Actually, yeah, Epic said they're ready. Against All Authority said they're ready, and we're going to go into the picks and bans.
Yep, just waiting for host to click start on the game. Looks like Sauce is the one, and we are into Champion Select. So here we go. The game is started. The team's going to have 30 seconds apiece to ban champions. So let me give you a quick overview of how the tournament draft works. So there are 2 teams, 5 players per team, and you draft the champions. You can see on the screen here, there's a list of, I believe it's 76 champions in this build. For those who play League of Legends, this is the current live build minus Orianna. Orianna's not available, but all the rest of the champions, all the balance changes, the skins, all available to be used. And so the way this works, if you're playing in competitive play in this tournament, you can ban out champions. So each team gets 3 bans. You can see Akali on the left-hand side, Rumble on the other. These teams are banning out champions that the other team and their own team can't play them. They're not eligible to be played in that game. This changes if you have a best of 3, you do a new set of bans. So after each team bans 3 champions, you then have a pick cycle. AAA will pick 1, Epic will pick 2, and it'll go 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1. I said one too many 2s there, but the point is, you take turns picking your 5 champions, and you can see that they're saying, you know, AAA does not want to fight Akali, and this is great. I love seeing these. Akali is a targeted ban. Westrice on North American servers is known for playing Akali. He's an incredibly strong Akali player. And the very first ban for Against All Authority, no, not dealing with Akali, no thank you. And you can see Epic is banning Rumble. Rumble is a champion that's known to be so strong in the European servers. North Americans are just barely learning to play him now, and they're not feeling confident with that right there. So they're banning out Rumble, saying we're not going to deal with that. You look at the rest of these bans. Akali, Rumble, Vladimir, Nidalee is again a targeted ban. Nunu is a very strong jungler, and then Twisted Fate, the very last ban from Epic. So a pretty good range of bans, and right away, the very first pick is Jungle Amumu. Jungle, he has that Smite Summoner spell that lets him deal a lot of damage to a single target, usually jungle minions. And he's got Flash as well, which is a good summoner spell for positioning. It lets you move about a third of the screen wherever you want across the map. And Amumu is a very position-based champion, so he's really going to push into those locations. You see the early picks from Epic are Janna and Vayne. Vayne, a ranged carry, physical damage dealing champion. Janna, a great babysitter and support for physical damage. She has a shield that not only blocks damage, but gives you bonus damage as well, and Vayne's going to really love having that. And one of the things in League of Legends is not only do you pick a champion, but you pick summoner spells, which means that you actually, as a player, have 2 of roughly 12 spells that you can pick, and no matter what champion you have, you can cast those spells on moderate to long cooldowns that do cool things. So Flash teleports you, Ghost makes you run fast, Clairvoyance reveals the location on the map. We look at more of these picks, and Karthus, an early pick as well, a very strong mage pick. And might be Momo playing him, but just a very strong mage, just magic damage in contrast to what Vayne's going to be doing. Just extremely high damage champion, and a pretty good synergy with Amumu as well, who can pin targets down in a location, and then Karthus can just pelt on those guys and deal constant damage.
Yeah, and we see there Kuja will actually take Miss Fortune, who obviously a big AD carry champion who's going to be played out by Kuja, and we'll now move over obviously to Epic, who will be picking their first jungler, which will be coming in the form of Warwick, with obviously with Smite on Dan Din.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, we have 3 flashes on each team. You can't repeat your summoner spell, you can't go double flash or double smite, but every single player so far has picked up flash. And one thing to point out real quick, just in case this will probably end up happening, is at the tournament draft, so you're picking in the order that you joined the game, but you can swap your champions around at the end, so it's actually working out really well, where Dyrus probably will be playing a physical carry, and Dandin actually is the jungler for the team, and Salse is the mage player picking up Annie. But you might see some swaps around. So for example, the Clairvoyance Misfortune is not something I've actually ever seen played in a ranked game. So Kuja will be playing support. He's got that Clairvoyance locked in. He's going to swap with probably Yellow Star, who's probably the ranged carry player for this game, and that's going to be one of the things going on there.
Yeah, so we'll see now Against All Authority take their final 2 picks. Obviously, they had the first one, and Yellow Star will be taking Soraka. So they'll be the main support for Against All Authority. And Yellow Star actually, interestingly enough, just got knocked off the 2nd position actually in the solo rank queue by none other than Wicked from SK.
Unfortunately, SK not making it, so
he's got some time to concentrate there.
Well, he's got a lot of time to practice, and of course, Season 2 is going to start up, and we'll have probably bigger and better next year. So that'll be glorious. But we're at Season 1 right now. It's about this, about $100,000 up for grabs. Top team, $50,000 to split amongst your team. Half the money, half of $100 grand going to one team. One of the teams here on Tuesday morning.
It's going to be rich.
Check, giant check, bigger than me, worth a lot of money. And the last few picks, we saw Soraka, and now it's Aurelia the pickup. Almost definitely going to be a switch as well. So as known really as the mage player for the team. I could be wrong. I'm a little bit rusty in my European lineups. It's kind of what I get for being in the other continents. But generally speaking, So as the mage player, he's the one who plays Needly when he's up there. Usually plays the mages. So we're probably going to see Moma and So as swap, and Yellow Star and Kuja swap. Super entertaining commentary, of course, talking about swapping champions. But the final pick for Epic Gaming, Westrice is one of those ranged AD players. Now, Darius has been known to play AD as well. I have seen these guys run double damage. Ooh. Oh, this is great. They're going to grab Singed. I'm fanboying. People are clapping out in the back who know. Darius is like the North American famous Singed player. This is great. I'm super happy to see Darius going to be on Singed. Westrice and Darius are going to swap. I'm sorry, I'm just having a fanboy moment right now. This is great. This is going to be hilarious. That's all I can say.
Yeah, Singed. In Europe, at least, I'd say a little bit underused. We see him definitely a lot more, I guess, in North America, but a great champion for me to watch. Actually, my main as well.
Oh, nice. I've tried playing Singed, and I've got my own. I've got my triple kills from running around and just like waiting and people die to me.
Yeah.
But okay, so we have the 2-minute garbage time. This is for players to set up runes and masteries and swap. There we see Kuja taking that Soraka. Darius is on Singed. I'm just. This is going to be so much fun. I love watching Singed. He does so many stupid things that are hilarious. Flips people over his back, slows everyone down, runs around on the poison trail, and no one can catch him. He's the most hilarious champion. I'm waving my arms around, which is great. That's how excited I am to see Singed. Doublelift going to be staying on support. Interesting, a couple things to note. Doublelift not on Blitzcrank. He's a fairly well-known Blitzcrank player in the North American servers, but they needed a support this game, not so much a tank, because they've got Singed and Warwick to hold that front line. They've got some nice crowd control from Annie, so the players are going to be pretty safe. So let's go ahead and look into the lineups. What do you think AAA's strength is going to be here?
Well, if you're looking into Against All Authority, we saw in the European qualifiers Moma playing a very, very solid game in the mid lane. And obviously this time playing Karthus, one of those champions who you always have to be aware of. When you think you've escaped with that little bit of health, bam, all of a sudden you're dead.
Yeah.
And usually 3, maybe 4 of you as well, if Moma gets lucky.
Yeah.
So that could be quite annoying for Epic as well. Over on the other side, as you said, Doublelift. Going for the support role this time, usually maybe playing a little bit more tankier, but we'll see. Westrice obviously playing with Vayne, going to have to come out very, very strong on that bottom lane, probably against Misfortune. And then you've got Annie as well, who's obviously been played by Sals, who I think we could see a great, great battle between Annie and Moma.
Oh yeah, that'll
Sals and Moma.
Yeah, that'll be super fun. So a point of something. I don't know what the word I was going for here. But the interesting thing, in about the last 4 to 5 months, maybe a little bit less, North American players have been adopting the European play style of running a support plus a range carry bottom, a mage mid, usually a tanky guy up top lane. And that's been the European standard for like a year or so. They've been doing that for quite some time. And it took them up until recently, the North American players, to realize this was probably the slightly better composition. Now, some carries can take a solo lane. Corky is one of those examples of a guy who can actually just take solo top and just chill and be fine. And you can actually see a couple of double carry lineups. We saw that actually in the North American qualifiers where Epic, they had Dyrus duoing bottom as Misfortune, but they also had Westrice as Corky on top. So you can see some of those double ups. But here we go. The game is up to the loading screen here. We can see AAA, their faces on screen right now, talking with themselves, getting themselves ready, looking at the summoner spells, the lineups, the skins, all that fun stuff. And they're going to be ready to go very soon. But yeah, the lineups, And I'm looking at the synergy here, and AAA has a great area of effect composition. They've got Amumu's ultimate, they've got Karthus dropping down a lot of area of effect with his ultimate, with the Fire, with Wall of Pain, Misfortune's ultimate, dropping tons of area of effect damage out there. And here we go, the game is actually live. We're going to see that the blue team, the green health bars, AAA, and we're going into the game right now. Everyone give a round of applause to these teams. Season 1 championships, first game, let's go guys! All right, and here we are into the game. We're going to be following Yellow Star on Road Warrior Misfortune. Going to just, talk about the skins real quick because I can. And he's actually leading the way across the map. Let's go ahead and turn on the shared fog of war. We are in full spectator mode right now. Got that ready for DreamHack. We have Yellow Star grouping up with the rest of the team, and you can see Epic is right there. They dropped the ward on this brush. So Epic's going to be, if we watch their review real quick, they're going to be able to see just what they want. So let's see, we follow one of them. You can see they don't really see AAA running around just yet. We drop that back out, and I got to get used to this keyboard, I'm sorry. I'm going to be a little bit slow on the commands the first game or so. But Epic actually running around down the bottom of the map, and they're going to be invading into the enemy jungle, and over way at the top, AAA's scared. They're actually afraid of getting invaded. They're actually camping their front turret. They're I don't know if they've got a clairvoyance to spotted anyone, but Karthus will face check that brush a little bit. I think we're going to run in towards the front, and they're going to take their own golem right here. They're going to be pretty much safe. Epic doing a very good invasion, have taken over the red buff, and they're going to jump into this brush here. Minions going to spawn in 20 seconds, or the neutral monsters will spawn then. And looks like Epic's in better shape to sort of control this game right now. They're going to take some of these jungle mobs and start off with a pretty big bang.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I think we see a little bit less in Europe, the real aggression at the start. We've seen Epic push up amazingly aggressively actually from the start of this one, and they're still hung around there. We're going to see Dandin obviously playing Warwick, just going into those raids for the first bit of experience, and the more that Epic can take away from Against All Authority's jungle right now, the more it's going to help them a little bit later on.
Wow, and they're going for red too. They're pinging. They're going to take over the lizard buff right away. That has spawned. Of course, Amumu will go for the golem himself. They've been clairvoyants, so this is going to be a little bit dangerous, but they're going for this, and Warwick just taking out the damage. It's going to go to Westrice, and they're going to be laning against a red buff Vayne. That is not what you want to fight against if you're AAA right now. So they have a good chance because they do have this healer of Soraka, and oh, they're coming on to Misfortune, and she doesn't know. Here they come. They're trying to get into range. Warwick going to jump around the side. There's the flash and the exhaust. He's going to flash across the wall, but Warwick is waiting for him. Can they get enough damage? Misfortune is running away as much as he can, but catches the heal from Soraka. Dandin will make it out, and she's going to be okay, but already that is flash wasted, exhaust down as well, but I'll take an exhaust to waste a flash. That's really good for them right now. So that's a good open for Epic right here.
Yeah, and it was great positioning as well from Dandin to really expect that flash straight over the top. Obviously, he couldn't really do so much damage in there, but we could have something a little bit interesting about to kick off here at top. We've got Linux moving in there, and he will go in onto Dyrus. Dyrus could be in a little bit of trouble, and he will get himself out. Just use the health potion to get himself safely onto that tower. But as per, now, things fairly even in terms of the damage that's been done early on, but that early red buff from Epic's really going to set them apart, I think, in this early lane stage.
And he's coming back. And he was coming back to gank, although the mini wave is huge, so it will push the turret very soon. And they're probably not quite durable enough to dive this turret yet, but Linux still waiting around, and he's maybe going to coordinate this. I'm not quite sure. The aggression on bottom lane is pretty strong, but Soraka constantly tossing out heals. The giant stack of heal wards. Or sorry, not heal wards, the vision wards. And here we go, they're actually diving onto Dyrus. This could be dangerous. Linak will pull the tower aggro. He's going to be okay. Soaz staying on him, doing a ton of damage. There's the fling. Can he get out of range? Linak coming back in. Dyrus taking a lot of damage, down to 200 health. Can they finish this one off? He's still safe inside the turret. Looks like AAA not ready to push back in, and Dyrus will stay alive just barely. There's a ton of minions here. He's going to last at them as best he can. Poison Drop doing a pretty good job of that, getting gold every time on most of these guys, and he's going to push that wave out pretty much safely. A ping comes out. Janna going to start roaming, and this could be some damage on a Karthus. Nope, Janna's going to pull back, going to look at the dragon, see that it's safe, and looks like the crises have been averted for now.
Yeah, and that's one of the great things about Singe. You think, okay, we can get in there onto him, and he throws you behind. You've got the tower aggro on you, and you just have to run away or really risk yourself in that one. Obviously up at top, so as really putting that pressure onto Dyrus, but he's keeping it fairly safe. Down at bottom, we've actually seen Vayne go home and pick up herself the extra healing pots and boots.
Yeah, it looks like the same already happened to Jana as well. She had already got dropped back and picked up boots and a ward, and if my math is serving me correctly, she did go back to get some item there. I don't think you can quite get all the items plus that missing slot on your initial buy, but maybe I just missed it. Saul's playing very aggressively, pushing around Moma right now, and that's not going to work too well for him. Down the bottom lane, a lot of aggression. Kuja down to half health, tosses the heal on himself. Only 60 points per heal, though, so that's going to take him some time to get back up to full. Saul's still trying to zone out Moma. Has taken some damage, though, in that aggression, so I don't know if he's going to keep up with this very well. And you look at the last hits, and it's 19 on Saul. There's a 26 on Moma, so quite the advantage there to the AAA, the one non-Frenchman on Against All Authority. And there's the aggressive ward, so Kuja can now face check that brush with impunity and know that no one is there. It looks like Epic is being pushed back, and you look at the gold up top, and actually AAA is ahead by about 300 gold so far globally on the team, so they're getting some slight advantages for themselves, just ever so slightly in the advantage in this game.
Yeah, the minion kills down at bottom, roughly 6-7 in favour of Yellow Star on his misfortune. Obviously, we did see that red buff being picked up by Westrise very early on in the game. Again, up at top, we're seeing Dyrus taking lots of pressure from Soaz, who managed to avoid any aggro from the tower, and he's actually going to dive in. We could be seeing first blood. Dyrus flings him behind, Soaz getting the ignite onto him, and, well, he took a lot of tower damage as well, and, well, Singed holding out nicely.
That was perfect from Dyrus. That was super perfect. That was a great play right there. He flung him back into tower range, forced out by Flash, or, forced him to flash out. So he should be good to go. Looks like a gank is coming in from mid, from Amumu onto Saul. Saul's taking a bit of damage, but staying alive so far. There comes Flash and a great late waste. This could be a kill if he has the mana for it. He does not yet, though. He's only at 150. Can he blue pill in time? And there's the channel. Saul's, I'm sorry, man. GG. Salsi goes down. First blood to Against All Authority. Beautiful job by Amumu. Great play there. Amumu coming in from the back, doing tons of damage. Still only level 3. That's impressive. He's been ganking constantly, because you see Warwick over here up to 4 and some change. So the jungler is, faster than Dan Din. But there's a ton of damage on a Yellow Star. Gets towards up with the tornado as well. This could actually be a kill, but if Flash is used, and can he get the one more hit? There's a silence. Can he jump in for it? Yes, he will get it. He will flash out, but Amumu is coming with advantage. Toss, and he lands it. Westrise, can he make it out? He's trying to get away from despair. He's just barely out of range, and Lina is out of mana, and he's going to push him back. Westrise is going to live. Oh, man.
Absolutely amazing there from Westrise to keep himself alive in that situation. And actually both of them from Epic on that bottom lane will be going back. We've got a bit of pressure up at top here as well, with Dyrus already down onto that tower, so I was having to back away just that little bit. No minions to give him that extra protection. And what did Vayne buy as she went back? Second Doran's Blade.
Second Doran's Blade, 3 health potions, has a 3 health potions and a ward as well. So he's got that defensive ward in case she needs to escape back into into getting health. Jana is a great support champion, great crowd control, but cannot heal. So if you take damage, aside from Doran's Blades, you got to get health potions and base regen. So that is a point to realize. Looks like Vayne will continue kind of jumping back and forth. Of course, they have that ward right there. So the thing is, they're going to get spotty. Look at this, and yeah. AAA can see them. They can see Jana play aggressively, so they know Jana is right there. She'll drop a ward down. They probably expect that as well. Looks like they're going to be safe for now. AAA back to their turret. Yellow Star, of course, 0-1. A little bit unfortunate there. But this Karth is super farm. 61 minions. Highest in the game by a lot, actually. 38. Wow. Significant minion kill advantage there by Moma. Tons and tons of gold on him. He's really carrying the flag there. 900 gold now by the up on the team. 9.3 to 8.4. So they're getting farther and farther ahead in gold Against All Authority, doing that pretty well. But that fire back from AAA was great. Vayne is really the one you want gold on. She scales probably the hardest of any of the champions in this game. Karthus can be a nightmare to deal with. Of course, he does scale, deal a ton of magic damage, force the team to fight magic resist. But Vayne really gets crazy as the game goes on. So she's the one you want to see farm. But here comes Linak coming in to push under Dyrus, but he's going to get back and be okay with Insanity Potion.
Yeah, and obviously doing the usual Singe of just literally running circles around his opponent, and obviously Soaz taking damage all the time. Linak came in there, but Dyrus just backing away from things ever so slightly, and got the cheek to just face check that brush there and see if Linek was still hanging around. And Dyrus needs to be a little bit careful, I think. He will actually fling Soaz down behind him, but Dandin is going to come in. Oh, and Soaz is in a lot of trouble. Linek will move himself in. There's an ignite onto Soaz, who surely is going to go down in this one. No, not quite. Manages to survive. Now it's Dyrus that could be in a little bit of trouble, and here comes the ultimate from Moma. Dyrus will survive with just 50 AP. Dandin is now the one in trouble. Linek trying to get in there. He's going to go down to the tower. Oh no! Oh my God!
I can't help but laugh at that. I'm sorry. That's. Oh man, the wish came in from Soraka earlier, helped keep Aurelia alive. A little bit too aggressive from Linek, a little bit too sure of himself, I guess. I'm sorry, I'm just grinning right now because the Americans are winning, and I'm sorry, the fanboyism is going to happen. I apologize. At least I can be. At least Joe is here to keep me in check.
Yeah, an Englishman rooting for the French full half most French team in the tournament. Yeah, it's not usual, but you know, Europe got to go. We got to go through with it.
Okay, but obviously, I mean, both teams exceptional players. I'm super excited to be here. I will cheer slightly more when Epic does well, but the battles are great. It was just a funny fight in the first place. Singed is the ultimate troll champion, and it got shown right there. I'm sorry, but that's Singed for you. He does stupid things all the time. So the bottom lane is still playing pretty aggressively. The wards, actually, just constant wards from AAA. They put them back down to this brush right here. So they're really all about controlling the brush here. The thing is, this is a very defensive lane with Soraka. She's not as aggressive as someone like Janna, who can drop down 2 crowd controls and give bonus damage to the teammate. So it's really about Yellowstar farming this lane, and it's just impressive that Epic's actually been able to push through that a couple of times and actually deal damage here. Looks like Warwick coming around the side dropped a pink ward, so they know that they don't see Dragon. And he could go for a Dragon if he wanted to. Looks like he's going to play safe for now. Looks like Amumu has retreated back out for a little bit. And yeah, Dandin, I guess he's trying to wait and see if they're going to play aggressively against that. And I think he might have seen Amumu. Amumu waiting in the wings, trying to see if he can play aggressively. Looks like Epic knows that he's playing aggressively, and they're going to just stay far, far, far back. And yeah, they're going to be okay for now. Westrise still last hitting. He's got himself 63 minion kills versus the 82 of Misfortune. All right. Still, the minion kills in the advantage for Against All Authority. The gold advantage not very large, though, because that extra kill right there. So the teams are very, very closely stacked. And, ooh, nice fling there from Dyrus. Going to push Soaz back and forth. He has a free golem buff thanks to that Amumu kill. He's going to be constantly running around, doing a pretty good job for himself. Mid lane is still all about Momo. He's got a Catalyst in boots. He's just constantly pushing himself through. And actually, the bottom lane is now empty. Against All Authority have both pushed back since they managed to shove that lane down. And let's see, Westride's going to keep last hitting here against this turret, getting himself a lot of gold. You can see every single one. He's waiting patiently at the turret, going to even get that last one right there with almost no health left. He managed to hit every single one at the turret. That's great play by him. Just very good coordination there.
Yeah, we see actually Yellowstar, who's just come back there, BF sword in hand. Obviously, the double Doran's blade as well in action. We could maybe see something going down at the bottom. No, Linek was having a sniff around, but they couldn't quite figure out exactly what they were to do there. We saw a bit of roaming going on from Dyrus as well. Left his lane and headed down towards middle. And so as yeah, just watching out for that one. I think he was a little bit wary as to why his lane was completely empty the entire time, but it was all pretty much safe. Yeah. And we see Dyrus just cleaning up this minion line, and Soaz, I think, a little bit worried about it.
Yeah, this is pretty good, though. So AAA did put a ward down about 20 seconds ago, and John just cleared that. And there's the Clairvoyance. So AAA does know that Epic was going for Dragon. They're going to pull back, not play too aggressively there. Looks like they're just very afraid of that gank. One cool thing that Against All Authority has is that this Aurelia is running Summoner Teleport. So if a battle starts anywhere on this side of the map, they have wards. They have a ward here. They have a ward there, they have a ward here. They have minions in both middle and bottom lane. And so Aurelia can come in to help in any team fight and make it turn a 4v4 into a 5v4. Dyrus does not have that for a summoner. He's Ghost and Ignite, so you can play more aggressively in a 1v1 and win those lanes. And you can see that really did help them earlier on when they killed Amumu. He ignited and pushed back Aurelia, and they've managed to pick up everything else on Amumu and get that buff. But he cannot show up across the map into those fights. So Dyrus is going to be sequestered onto that corner for a lot longer than Aurelia will. And so AAA has the big advantage of forcing more fights than Epic can.
Oh, and what a move.
There's the teleport. Amazing. That was glorious. Dandin not in good shape. Instant kill pickup. The Amumu ultimate is not enough as Vayne gets out of the way, but yep, teleports onto a ward. Oh, it's like I saw that coming. It was great. There's the beautiful gank by AAA, bringing that back to 2-2. Up 1,200 gold now on the team. Yellowstar pulling that back. Westrise knows he drops the ward down. They know it's going down, but they can't really stop that very much. They don't have We'll work around to smite that. MoMA staying nearby. Looks like Salsa will not come to help. Dyrus will keep pushing top lane, so they're going to get a couple extra minion kills out of that, but it's almost 1,000 gold gain for that dragon kill. 16.7k to 15.1. They're up 1,500 gold now. Yep, there we go. This is what Singe does. He runs past the minion line, finds new minions to kill, and poison trails them, but Karthus and Aurelia are coming to join the show, so be a little bit careful there, Singe. You're going to have some friends pretty soon. So running away as best he can, gets that dodge proc right there, running super fast thanks to nimbleness. And yeah, he's going to move on down. Those minions are dead, and the lane will push once more, but MoMA is there to defend them. Has the needlessly large rise. He's going to be nice and farmed right there. That's just happy for him.
We have So's just taking the place of MoMA in the middle for the moment. And he won't have any trouble in there dealing with all that one. We could maybe see Epic. Yeah, Westrice is actually going to head back himself as Janna starts to head up towards middle. And we're going to see Karthus coming back down towards mid as well. So maybe a little bit of action about to kick off around there. We've got Dandin, who obviously continuing his jungle pattern, just did Wraith, is now onto the Lizard buff. And Misfortune, who, did she go back again? No, actually not. And Vayne decided to stay in lane as well. Does have BF sword now.
Yeah, so she's in pretty good shape. We see Vayne pushing back to the base, has BF sword, 2 Doran's Blades, going to probably pick up some items for herself, wants to go ahead and keep relevant. Yep, picks up Berserker's Greaves, more health potions, and a ward. It's going to be a little bit of a threat to deal with now. That attack speed going to work well for her base damage and for that Silver Bolts, that W, that passive there. So she'll be quite the threat to deal with. But we look over at Misfortune. Misfortune actually less items, has the BF sword as well, has the 2 Doran's Blade, but only regular boots of speed so far. Look at the minion kills, 110 on Vayne, 125 on Misfortune, but that kill from Vayne, actually Misfortune did get a kill as well. She did get the credit for that kill on a Singe, so actually Misfortune should be more farmed in the end. So when she goes back to base, she'll have some nice items. The mid lanes are back. Sal's fighting against MoMA in the mid. Aurelia and Singe squaring off. Singe constantly pushing that lane, but Soaz should be able to really last hit this lane quite competently. You can see one of those going down, 25 gold a pop, pushing Dyrus around a little bit, but doing a really good job with his gold. I think I heard the slash laugh right there. He's spamming emotes in a tournament game. That's one thing I like about Dyrus. He's quite the character. Doesn't get excited too much. He gets into a giant team fight. But here comes Linak. Oh, and the flash from Annie will be saved. But Dyrus, and we're talking about Dyrus, because I never talk about what's actually going on the screen, ever. Dyrus has about one tone to his voice and keeps it forever, no matter what's going on, and indeed does spam /L throughout games. Definitely a fun character to be around.
And we're going to see Dyrus actually work his way down towards mid. Okay, so not quite moving in there maybe for a push onto Karthus. We're getting pings down. Okay, so we see the Oracle actually on Janna, who is just making a move in. We actually see the flash over from Dandin. They're going to put pressure onto Kuja, and I'm not sure they're going to be able to catch up as Westrice trying to move in there, does get the exhaust on and has to escape himself out. Knock down Kuja to below half health, but
yeah,
you know, it's not going to make so much of a difference to Soraka.
A little bit of miscoordination there. You can see that John actually did pull back for a second, right as Dandin was like, no, let's go for this infinite duress, and then just a little bit out of range. Did not get the chain crowd controls off in time, and she got back to turret range, self-healed up quite nicely, and Vayne wasn't quite ready to go for that one, so that did not work out quite as well as they had hoped. Dyrus looks like he's going for a fast Rod of Ages, has the Catalyst already and a Blasting Wand. When he gets enough gold, he'll pick that one up, get some nice ability power on himself, and he's going to be a little bit more threatening as the game goes on. Looks like Salsa and Dan pushing through. Actually, sorry, it's Salsi. Actually, one of the things I love about League of Legends, by the way, in LAN tournaments in general, is other people waiting in brush like they're Garen, and Westrice definitely going to probably die for this. Here it comes. Oh man, here it goes, and he's been caught. There's MoMA and everyone else, and Westrice is dead.
Rather quick nukes there. You're not going to really come out on top of that one when you've got Karthus and Misfortune focusing you. And this bottom lane tower is going to go very, very easily. They've got actually Linak down on the middle turret, who should be able to hold that off. He's actually just going into the jungle, not worried about it whatsoever by the looks of things. And Dan, yeah, we could actually see Singed and Amumu meeting up here. Dyrus against Linak, and obviously Dyrus has a massive level advantage over him. We'll put the slow in there, and he won't quite be able to get away. Actually, the ulti from Amumu was popped. So's is going to go down, and middle tower is being pushed as well by Dandin. Not sure if they're going to be able to finish this off before those minions actually are killed by the tower, though.
Yeah, they're going to back off right now. 2 more shots to the turret's gone. Salsi going to come in there and take 1 more hit. So before I was interrupted by AAA ganking, how rude of them. I was telling a quick story. So Salsi's dad is here, And one of the things I love about League of Legends is that the camaraderie between players and family members and all that. So family members of course coming out to support them, but also CLG I'm not in this game right now, but CLG they're in Group B, out of their own pockets paid for their 6th to come here. Right, the teams are allowed to field 5 players and they're fielding their starting 5. Everyone made it, but they're like, hey, Kobe 24, you're not starting, but you're our friend, and honestly, like we're gonna win some money at the tournament regardless. Like, let's bring you to Sweden. Like, you helped us get here. You deserve this trip as much as any of us. And they paid out of their own pockets to bring their teammates here. Fnatic the same, brought their 6th. This actually was a convenient story because actually one of their players missed their flight. So without him, they actually would have been fielding 4. So that was extremely convenient for them to have brought their 5th. But also, Saucy's dad came over and said, hey, he wants to give a shout out to his brother Vince. So there you go to the people out here. Shout out to you, man, for supporting your brother and all that. And I just love the camaraderie here. We actually have some of the biggest fans here as well. I met a guy who made his own League of Legends shirt, has made a League of Legends Katarina coffee mug. His friends made him a framed picture of Katarina for his birthday. Like, this guy is super awesome. We took pictures with him. It's great seeing people who care so much about the game, not only play the game, but spend their time just being involved with it and liking it. And that's a huge honor to be here with people like that who care that much. It's really humbling.
Yeah, it's a great thing to see, and obviously there are lots of people here at DreamHack, so hopefully we see a few more of those fans. We could see a bit of action going off here in the middle. Momo's going to be in trouble. Double flash shoes in there, and Momo is going to be nuked down very, very quickly there, not really having any issues. And to be honest, we're not going to see Against All Authority get anywhere near it. Obviously, the ulti was popped, but most of them were full health anyway, and they're going to go in. Epic going to take this second dragon.
Yeah, and it's a little bit weird that he kind of did that, because so it was greatly timed by Epic because they came as 5 to gank a player, which made it a 5v4 per dragon. That's thinking 2 steps ahead. I mean, ganks are good, killing dragon's good, but ganks that you can't get stopped while killing dragon, that's just great play, right? It makes so much sense logically, but to coordinate that and get that ready, great play by these guys. Pretty wonderful stuff. They've come in, they've taken that one down for themselves. They've pulled the dragons back to 1-1. They're still down 2,000 gold, but at this point, when the teams have 20-something thousand, not a huge problem. They did pick down that Karthus. Looks like Yellowstar going to have a Lizard buff for himself. And he's not going to start that right now, actually, because Epic is actually pushing bottom lane. Now, Doublelift is quite low, but it's going to not have that ability to heal himself, so it's going to be a little bit dangerous. But Saucy off in the wings, waiting off outside of ward range, now going to come in and look for a gank. And they're actually not going to push. Oh, they are. They're going to come through and brush right now. Looks like there are no wards, so this could be quite scary for AAA. They're going to come through the backside. Yellowstar and Kuja none the wiser. Here comes Bane, knocks him into a wall, and here comes Saucy. Gets silenced by Soraka. Beautiful play there. Western's taking a ton of damage. Darius gets a turret, but here comes the damage out. But Saucy bursting down on Yellowstar. Can he get the kill? Yes. Double is super low. They're going to be okay. And here comes more damage in, and yes, that will be a kill. Dan Din taking the rest of that turret. 2 kills for nothing. Great job there, but Dyrus getting chased by Yellowstar. Can he make it out? No, he cannot. 2 crits in a row. Soaz doing a wonderful job there. Linek coming to lend the hand, but it's 2 turret kills in a row. They got the top one with Dyrus. They got the bottom one here. Picked up 2 kills under the team. Gold is right back equal. 5 kills to 4. But ooh, here comes Saucy losing a fight to Momo, flashing away, but more damage, and the lay waste comes out. Momo picking up that kill. Great play by him.
Yeah, Salsa's move there was a little bit risky in my opinion. It was probably just trying to finish off that middle lane. Maybe they can push from both sides, but in my opinion, very, very risky, and obviously kind of showed in the fact that he died as well with that one. We're going to see Westeros actually taking the blue pill back home, as we have seen Yellowstar come back into lane. Does has already built his Infinity Edge, and also Azeel coming out as well there.
And Momo actually came by while that was happening and stole the red. It was interesting because Momo went by and stole red, so that's just gone. But while the 2 members of Epic were down here, you actually saw AAA ping that and was like, hey, they're at Lizard, stop them, quick, they're at Lizard. And so they actually backed off and didn't do anything because they knew they'd get spotted. But Momo did that perfectly and was like, yeah, I got your buff, what about it? And he's got Death Cap, he's going for, might be Rod of Ages, might be Void Staff. Could be Riley. There's a couple different things that build from that blasting wand. I'm guessing Void Staff, but we'll have to see as this builds out. But he's certainly in great shape right now. Still got tons of health with the Catalyst, 1900 HP, 330 ability power. We compare that to Saucy, and he's at 297. That's actually pretty close as well. Double Doran's Ring giving him a nice amount of AP there. The Doran's Ring not giving him quite as much health, though, so he's only at 1690 HP, so he's not quite as beefy there. Look at the top lane. Whoops, I just clicked Salsi again. Dyrus running around back from top lane, and here's a kind of a staging area from AAA. I'm not quite sure what they're going for. Let's follow Soraka around. She's got the Oracle. Is going to meet up with MoMA and Soaz. And now Yellowstar cannot teleport. He doesn't have Summoner TP, so he's going to be alone, and it's going to make it a 5v4 if Epic manages to engage. But they look pretty safe for now, so I guess they'll be all right. Kujin is still roaming around, trying to find something to do. Gonna, I guess, all the way towards bottom lane, maybe. Everyone's sort of at the top half of the map, so I'm not quite sure what's going to happen. Everyone's going for positioning. Looks like that's going to be a kill on that ward. Double lift with the Oracles, staying alive, doing pretty well. You can see at the bottom, the support has not died still. So that Oracles has been on the entire game. Kuja right there with the Oracles, going to pick down that ward. 25 free gold for him. That's kind of nice. Helping to pay for that Oracles one ward at a time. And yeah, the turret's getting assailed by some minions. It's going to be okay. Dyrus will pill back. Has Riley, so it was not Rod of Ages, but Riley's Crystal Scepter that was picked up. And that's going to let that Poison Trail slow. It's going to let, actually, really just Poison Trail slow. It'll let Fling actually do a slow as well when he flinks someone around. So he'll jump over his shoulder and then not be able to move so well for the first few seconds. And
on top of his slow.
On top, oh yeah, on top of the Singed Goo, the Mega Adhesive, just he's really going to crowd control some people. So against All Authority, 5 strong though. Amumu's waiting in the wings to the left, ready to push onto this turret, but Epic's ready for him, so they're going to actually just push back. Not get a lot done just yet. And ooh, the pings are off. They know where Double Lift is. Looks like a Clairvoyance might have spotted him. Double Lift going to still run away. We see AAA right below. If he gets to the jungle, he'll get caught. Linak might jump through with a bandage toss. He spots him. Not going to go for it. Going to stay safe in that jungle, but they have jungle control right now. And Dyrus might find a guy. Ooh, this is going to be pretty contentious right now. We're going to go back to mid, farm out some of these minions. This is going to be pretty close though. Let's go ahead and find the Fog of War. So AAA, look at the ward control. They've got most of the jungle spotted. They kind of see some of that. Look over at the other side. They've got a little bit of ward control as well. They do see AAA running around the backhand side. Now they don't anymore. So there you kind of see the amount of visibility that both teams have. And here we go. Dyrus going to get spotted. Soaz in the front. There's the move advantage toss. Dyrus could get picked up, running around as fast as he can. Looks like he will not quite die just yet. He will be safe, but a lot of flashes got used. Oh no, Dyrus, what are you doing? You're jumping back into the fight. You've got to be careful, man. Soaz in the front, getting pushed back in the tower. Beautiful play by Epic.
Amazing.
Gonna pick up Soaz. No, Dyrus though, pretty low as well. Gonna blue pill back to base. And here comes more of the fight. And Linak so incredibly low. They can't quite pick that one up. They're gonna keep pushing through though. Can they get the rest of this? MoMA putting down the drop. Oh, that was a lot of damage. There comes one kill. Salsi back on to Soraka. 2 more picks up, and here comes the Karthus drop, and it's gonna be no one gonna die. Oh, Amumu's back in, picks one up, gets dropped by Vayne. Looks like only one left. Misfortune running for her life, has Strut on, those hearts flowing out of her waist. Gonna be okay, but it's 4 with like no health. Look at this. You can't even see the health bars for half of them.
Yeah.
Dyrus is making his way back in, still spamming slash laugh. Oh, Dyrus. Oh, Dyrus. I don't know why I'm fanboying so hard over Dyrus, but I just can't help but laugh at the slash laugh every 5 seconds.
Since you took Singe, right?
Yeah.
For the start.
Trolling everyone. Nice! This man yelled Demacia at the top of his lungs. So, downtime, crowd interaction, guys. Can I get a Demacia from everyone here in the count of 3, please? 1, 2, 3. Demacia! Nice.
Awesome.
And now ESL's going to yell at me for taking the mic off and having it positioned poorly again. Hopefully this sounds okay to the stream. But
it was worth it in my opinion.
It was worth it. I'll say it in chat, but it won't go through. Hubs can't chat. So whatever. Sorry, spectators can't chat. That's the name of it. Stealing, on blue. So Epic coming in onto the Golem buff right there. That's going to go to Westeros. All right. Westeros going to have really, really low cooldowns. Doesn't really need the mana, but they're going for Baron. Ooh, and look at that. AAA is so far away. They're going to get Baron. Okay, I'm fanboying again, but they're going to go for Baron. Look at the vision. They know about it, and they're on the other side of the map.
Too slow.
Ooh, this is going to be close. Will they get it in time? Put up the menu. That's good. Epic picks up Baron. Will it play? Whoa, they're going to catch Soaz. Here comes the push. They've caught him, and there comes the damage up. No, Jonna, what are you doing? You saved him. Double lift. What are you doing, man? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? I mean, they got Baron, right? That's still good. But
Soaz, I think, can't quite believe that one.
on behalf of North America, I facepalm. There's a thread right now on the forums. Double lift, what are you doing? All right, and the Golem coming up again, so Dan didn't pick up that one up for himself. So both Golems been taken by Epic Gaming. Looks like Singe going to start on the Lizard buff. Probably going to give that one to Vayne. She's probably the best case for a Lizard buff, but I mean, maybe you'll just take it on Singe and slow on 5 of your abilities, auto attack included. that might work well as well. That might work well as well. It's like saying against all authority. I'm really good at these.
Against all authority is a mouthful, though.
It is, it is.
AAA works a lot easier.
AAA does work well. We got a AAA match for you guys. That's shameless. So it looks like Lizard will, in fact, well, no, she's got Lizard buff, so yeah, that one did get donated. Keeping the turret alive. The golds, though, even though they got the kill advantage, against all authority is so much better at last hitting, it seems. They're still ahead in gold ever so slightly. They're down a Baron, up a Dragon, granted, sure. I mean, they got that one extra turret kill, but really this is time for Epic to really push through. They've all gotten to push back and gain some items. Saucy's got to be just rocking a ton of ability power. 350, that's not too bad, actually, but MoMA, 379, and there's that Void Staff. So I guessed correctly, yes. And they're pushing through into the jungle now. Towards that river. They've got spotted by a ward. They kind of, they drop that Clairvoyance down. Double Lift gets spotted. They're going to be okay. But they're 5 men strong, and they just have to be ready for Epic to push. Because if they're ever 4v5, they'll just lose the fight immediately. Epic has really good initiation. That Annie, Tibber stun. They have Warwick and Singe that can both dive behind the lines and deal tons of damage. And the fight's going to start pretty soon. And they're going to push through it. I don't think they're going to get pushed back, so I think they're going to go for this and go for this turret. They have the range advantage.
Yeah.
We're going to jump around the back, actually, and they might get a nice flank here. Here we go. Can they get the push on? Warwick's still down in the jungle, though. They're not playing too aggressively just yet, but Warwick does know. If anyone face checks the brush, it'll be a kill. And Linak wants to face check a brush. Ooh. Pretend there's a Garen on the other team. Don't do it, man. Do we even have Demacian champions on the other team right now? Another laugh from Singe. That's good. No team Demacia. A lot of Zana, actually. Anyway, yes, Laura side. AAA keeping the turret alive. Soaz doing a ton of damage here. He's got the Trinity Force going for... This could be an Aegis, actually. Those don't work together otherwise as items. The Ruby Crystal and the Null Magic Mantle. And they're going to push down towards bottom lane. And they know they're getting pinged a little bit. They're actually pinging to keep in the brush. Another Demacia yell. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Every time that comes out, I'm going to have to, talk about it. And Epic's going to get this turret right here pretty much for free. AAA is very far away. This is going to bring the turret score to 3-3 right there. 3 kills apiece. Bringing the gold back to their advantage. Now up 600 gold. And the wall's going to keep them zoned out a little bit. They've got good AoE slow from Misfortune as well. Oh, they're back to mid. They've got the minions there. There comes Dyrus running around. Trollolol going to jump in, take that turret. 2 more hits to go. And that's going to be another turret kill. So 4-3 now. And they're up a nice, pretty 1,000 gold right there. Going to push on through. And they're going to just look very good in this push. They've killed all 3 outer turrets now and one of the secondaries. And they're in really good shape to keep this game alive. They've got another minute or so on that Baron buff. Baron will respawn 3 minutes after it drops, so keep track when you see those purple orbs fly away. In 3 minutes, Baron will respawn. About a minute before that Dragon will respawn. Those were kind of concurrent kills. And we see Epic just walking back into their jungle. Actually the enemy jungle, and they're going to be safe for now. They need to find an opening to do something with this, otherwise they'll start falling behind again in last hits. And we'll see what they can do with this. They're waiting in the brush. Double Lift not actually in the brush, though. They're trying to find somewhere. They have a lot of pings. They kind of know where people are transitioning. They know where this is happening. AAA is refusing to move around through the brush. Epic putting on a show, though, right now. And, they're coming in from behind. They're going to jump onto someone. Baron is gone, so in 3 minutes, at about 32:15, it'll or 35:15, it'll respawn. They did get caught, though, so they won't get that push in quite yet. But Saucy up in front is going to get spotted. There's the Amumu Bandage Toss. Saucy, not a great shape, but they've... he caught Linak, and Linak in the front, taking a ton of damage. Look at that damage output. Dandid will go down, but they're going to kill the Amumu. And here comes the fight. MoMA in front. Westrice taking some damage. Yellowstar pushing him around. Saucy not in great shape. There's the exhaust, and the Timbers drop has killed Yellowstar. Only still 1 dead, but no, Westrice will go down to Soaz. There's a flash from Kuja, getting caught by Double. Can he pick up the kill? Yes, just barely. Now Saucy fighting Soaz. Saucy will drop. A beautiful tornado saved his life. He was crushing across the wall. There's the. Oh no! Are you serious? Momo was channeling the ultimate, and Dyrus killed him before he could. You're kidding me. Dyrus just saved Double Lift by stopping him from channeling the ultimate. That's glorious right there.
Yeah, it was really great play from Dyrus, actually. The slow wall came down from MoMA, but then Dyrus dropped his slowing glue as well. So they were kind of both running at snail's pace, and of course the cooldown came back on Fling, and Dyrus managed to catch him out just in time.
That was definitely pretty glorious. That was like, and John is going to go. No, he's not dead. What? And then that happened. So that was pretty glorious. Good job there by Dyrus. And still the kills are actually just slowly stacking in the favor of Epic. They won that fight 5-3, or 4-3, and my voice cracks as well. Just barely, apparently 5 is a puberty trigger. So anyway, they're going to be fine. They managed to win that fight. Dan Din still clearing out the jungle, is level 14. You compare that to a Mumu who is not quite as well. Okay, so Linak doing some more fighting right here. Going to pick out some of these mini golems. Unfortunately, made them tether right there. Going to be fine. So still killing some of these wolves. Level 18 though, so Soaz really doing a great job here. Look at the bottom, look at the kill scores. 4-1 on Soaz, doing a good job there. Pretty much the most positive on his team, but 4-1 on Dyrus as well. So both teams, Irelia and Singed, really carrying the teams right now. It's kind of interesting though, you know, 4 kills on Annie, 4 kills on Vayne, but it's the Singed that's not dying. And yep, they're on to Dragon right now, so Epic doing a good job. They're picking up another objective for themselves, and in about 1 minute, we're going to have Baron respawn as well. A minute and a half maybe.
And we see the Oracle being picked up by Kuja, and that's something that they really need at this point, because the ward coverage from Epic really has been, you know, great, amazing so far. And we see there Kuja just starting to spread some wards of his own. He's going to clear that one out. Blue buff is up, and as you can see, Dyrus has started to move in there, dropped a ward in, and we could see something kicking off maybe around by this Golem buff. Against All Authority are looking like they're going to go in there and take it pretty simply. I think Epic aren't going to challenge that one. They only have 2 guys around there anyway.
Yep.
But they are stacking up. Obviously, Baron is going to come up, well, right now. And maybe they're going to go for this one. Obviously, those forward wards were put in there.
Yep, they've cleared the wards pretty well. The Clairvoyance does reveal. Their ward, of course, does go down, as Kuja, the Soraka, does have an Oracle's Elixir, but they have decent vision to this, and they're kind of baiting around. Janna staying very far back, does not want to get bursted down by that Irelia, which is very smart of her to stay in a safe location. But they're about to butt heads. The wards are down again. They've seen each other, and here comes the fight. Linak in the front, and here we go. The battle will commence. Almost. Dyrus taking some damage. There are more, and there we go. Dyrus in the front. Who's going to find? He's looking like he's going to run around for a moment right away, and the Dan Din is going to come in there, going to try to find Yellowstar. Yellowstar down to how Salsi in bad shape as well. Momo getting pushed back by John on double ups, healing up the team. Linak taking a lot of damage, but Westrice will get the first kill. Kuja is down. Westrice doing more damage. Yellowstar will go down. Westrice is safe. Dyrus trolling around, going to do some nice damage. Looks like, yep, there's a kill in there. Lots of damage thanks to that Karthus. Soaz will drop as well. A lot of deaths going down. Looks like 2 still alive. Only a Mumu left, and here comes Dyrus. And Dan Din chasing down. 1 kill to go. Has gotten flung, and here we go. More damage coming in. He's going to chase down. Linak will not land a bandage toss. Will not get a stun. Dyrus got to be a little bit careful. Linak has a lot of mana to keep himself alive. If he lands a bandage toss, he could kill Dyrus. Nope. A great goo right there. Linak still taking damage. Dan doing what he can. Not doing a lot of damage to this tank. Can he pick it up? There's a stun. Linak not dying. There we go. Picks it up there. Dan Din getting that 5th kill right there. Another win. Well, team fight win. The game's not over, obviously, but Epic picking up another fight right there. 18-16 is the kill score. Great job by them. You can look back down to the bottom. The minion kills are massive. 200, 200, 200, 200, almost 200, 200. So minion kills a little bit better for AAA still. They have this slightly better mechanics, but these team fights more and more for Epic. And So did you expect this kind of good play? We talked yesterday, and you thought AAA was the favorites for this tournament. A lot of people did as well.
Yeah.
So are you surprised?
Not really surprised. I mean, Epic, as you mentioned before we started, have been a great, without trying to make it sound too harsh, a great silver medal team so far. And obviously they're coming into this one. This is where the biggest amount of prize money that's ever been available is to be won. Of course, $100,000 over the top 3 places. So I think they come into this one really, really motivated. And it doesn't really surprise me to see that, you know, against All Authority maybe having a few problems, let's be honest. Second team from North America, first team from Europe. I'm not sure that there's that much of a difference between the 2 teams, to be honest. I think on any team in these tournaments given day, they can probably all beat each other.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And I didn't want to sound like you flat, bro, and US is winning. I'm sorry if I came up that way. I really don't want to. Oh man, I'm gonna get flamed.
I didn't take it that way.
Okay, I appreciate
it's
it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, okay. Anyway, I'm new to this. Wonderful game so far, of course. The teams still have to keep it up, right? They still have to keep that consistency going. There's still 2 more games for each team to go through. Certainly, only the last place team in each group is going to be eliminated, so everyone has a chance to go through. You know, even if AAA loses here, of course, they won against Fnatic. last time they met in the European qualifiers. Actually, I'm not sure they met. I forget which side of the bracket game it was on, but certainly AAA basically won without losing a map at the European qualifiers. So they're going to be in good shape against Fnatic. You know, I will actually assume that AAA will move on into the bracket play, and you know they may play Fnatic then, and or you know Gamed and CLG and TSM and all the other teams. You know, I think these are still a very, very strong team that have a great chance to keep going through this tournament. But I'm super happy to see Epic do so well right now. You know, that slight little bit of American fanboy is showing, and it's a good match so far, and I'm happy they're doing well, really proving themselves, proving North American play is just as strong as European play, and more matches to come out throughout the day. And they're pushing through. They've still not picked up Baron, but looks like Dyrus is ready to go for this one. He's getting ready to kind of push on. A lot of Banshees that are going to really prevent that fling initiate, but they're getting ready to play aggressively still. And there we go, Linak in front, going to take some damage, and the fight's going to start.
Yeah, and we saw the damage coming into Linak, but maybe they'll change the focus here. Actually, we've seen Kuju in a very aggressive position there, and Dyrus is just still running around, poison all over the place. Soaz will actually flash out of that fight, so let's go back in there. Moma's actually very, very low. Nice slow wall put down, and that will really slow them in. Actually, Salt will get the front. Oh, actually, it was Westrice who got the kill in the end, and then we see the ultimate pop. I don't think it's going to take anyone. So Salt's going down fairly low, but Epic are starting to move their way over to Baron. Obviously the kill that they got in there really helping them out. It was obviously onto the tank as well, onto Linak, but against Authority they're not going to give up on this Baron, so yeah, they're going to keep putting some pressure in there.
Yeah, so they're in really good shape here. 2,500 health left on Baron. Looks like AAA will not get into range in time. Let's watch the Baron fall real quick, and the battle will start. Here we go. And looks like the death is done on Moma, and there goes Misfortune as well. And Kuja about to fall. Dan did do a wonderful job, and looks like almost no one left alive for AAA. Soaz goes down. That is the ace, no death with Baron buff. This could be the time for Epic to push through into the base. 600 damage crits coming out from Vayne, and they're just jumping past minions. They don't care. They're going for this. They really think they have the chance. Amima will be back alive pretty soon. He was the first to fall, or the last to fall, as the case may be, and they're pushing through. That turret is gone, and now on the next one. They're onto the inhibitor turret. When the inhibitor falls, your minion waves will start spawning super minions, which are crazy good at fighting champions and buildings. They take less damage from turrets. The turret is down. There are 20 seconds till any of the respawns are really back right now. Amima cannot fight this by himself, nor can Soraka, and they've got the inhibitor, and they're moving to bottom lane. They're going to back off. They're going to play it safe. They're going to back. They're going to heal. They're going to take these buffs. They know that Golem is up. They know that Lizard is up. The Clairvoyance comes down. They know they should be safe, but they're probably going to be okay for this right now. Still no one has revived Butterbeam. Finally, Soraka is back. Karth is back in 1 second. Yeah, but there is the kill on the Lizard, and they're going to be okay there. And Rourke's going to take Golem for himself, and Epic came out of that beautifully. 23-12 now, the score. And they've got Baron, they've got buffs. They're in great shape. And
Dragon as well, yeah.
Wow.
And I like it from Epic. They could have pushed that bottom lane there, and probably, if we're honest, taken that tower out as well. But you know, at this stage of the tournament, first game for both teams, I think Epic want to play it that little bit safe, want to use the position that they're in right now and just do it safely rather than maybe risking all, and for it to go badly for them would be a real shame at this stage. So now Epic 23-12 ahead in terms of kills. They've got a good 8k extra in gold as well, so they're looking very, very healthy to be taking this one. And against All Authority, probably wondering now, how do we hold this one off? How do we, force that one fight in a good position where we can maybe come back into this game?
Yeah, here we go. Another Golem getting picked up. Looks like the Lizard will spawn soon as well. Looks like Saucy going to pick up the Golem with the Incinerate cast right there. Got a Void Staff and a Banshee Veil, so she's in pretty good shape, that Annie. Here we go at the bottom, or the bottom of the middle of the map, I guess. AAA in their own base. Pushing back the super mini waves. You can see two of them right there. Pretty beefy, not dying right away to this Karthus. Karthus 466 ability power, quite beefy. The Annie 450, so they're pretty much following equal builds, which I think is hilarious. They've got almost the exact same items. Looks like Karth is the first to diverge, though, getting another blasting one to pick up a new item. And we'll see how that diverges there. But still, the Baron buff is being worn. Epic looks like they're ready to push again. 61k to 52k. They're still not that far ahead overall in advantages. Look at the levels over there. 18, 18, 18 on 3 of them. 18, 18, 18. Ooh, wow, yeah. Level advantage, pretty good for Epic right now. Dan did quite higher. Wow, there's a turret kill. They're going to keep moving on down. This could be a very large fight. Let's kill that scoreboard, give you a little bit more visibility. And they're looking for something. They've actually found Linak, but they're not going to be able to quite catch him. No way to break that Banshee's Veil. No one can quite jump on that as hard as they wanted to. So still crushing down this minion wave. That's a nice amount of gold picked up there.
Yeah, really steaming on down into that top lane. I mean, there was no one that really could have stopped them. It looks like they could put some pressure onto that inner turret as well. And they are kind of hanging around, just trying to maybe split against All Authority away. But they are waiting for this next minion wave to come in. So I think they're going to start pushing their Linak fairly aggressively placed, actually, and just trying to pop a couple of those Banshee's Veils off, which it seems like almost everyone has a Banshee's Veil at the minute. Okay, so 4 from against All Authority, and yeah, 3 from Epic. So lots of Banshee's Veils everywhere.
Down to the bottom, you can put a stack of items down there. Looks like no major fights happening just yet. They're still a little bit afraid to jump into the base. One thing that Epic can do is ride super minions in, and that's what they're going to do. Dan Din jumping into the base right now. Going to make him a little bit scared. Gets stunned out by Soaz, but he's got so much self-healing available. He's really not in bad shape. He's got a Stark's Fervor. He's got a Spirit Visit. He's got Aegis. This is basically Aura Warwick right now. And they're jumping into the turret right now. Dyrus going to push down to some of these minions. These turrets do not regenerate, so every damage they deal is going to stick around, and they're going to slowly just kill these turrets down if they can stay into this. And, I mean, they're really just comfortable inside the Against All Authority base, and we'll see if they can push through on this. They're in pretty good shape so far.
Yeah, we see, Dan Din getting himself out of any trouble there. There's more Banshee's Veils being popped, and we're going to see maybe a push in here. Some damage putting out. Ulti comes out from the other side. As you can see, Dyrus is already in there. Did go in onto Soraka, but the main fight kicking off there in the center. As we see Salsa taking down a lot of damage as well. Double lift hanging around. Soaz is trying to get himself out of that situation. Dan Din running around. Ulti popped by Karthus as well. Dan Din will survive. Flash is going in aggressively. Soaz just managing to hold on. Nice move from Westrise to pick up that kill. Gets himself out of range of the tower as well. And they should be able to push straight through, and this is going to be good games.
This is 5-0. This is the first game. Epic Gaming going 1-0 in the group. The #2 American seed taking down the favorites, arguable favorites of this tournament. The very first game. Stay tuned. We've got Pacific versus Fnatic up next.
Yeah, don't go anywhere, guys.
Don't go anywhere.
Because we're here the entire day until, well, the final game of the day starts at 7:15, you know, depending on schedule, if we're there or not. But that means we'll be here till, I guess, 8 o'clock, maybe 9 o'clock, something like that. So an entire day of League of Legends here on the booth. So make sure you don't go anywhere. Of course, you can play Spin to Win over at the front here, and also the free gaming area. I guess not open just yet, but that should be coming up a little bit soon here. But yeah, as Freak mentioned, next game coming up will be Fnatic versus Team Pacific. First time that we're going to see the Southeast Asian team in action.
Yeah, it's gonna be super glorious. I really can't wait to see these games happen. Looks like on the screen we got people cheering for themselves. Over on the monitor we've got Epic Gaming, people pointing at themselves, mouthing words that we can't hear. They're in a huddle right now. Oh, big picture getting taken of them, of course. People super happy and excited to see their favorite players. And you know what it's time for? I don't know if that went through the stream or not. We have a GG button.
What show you?
That one went through.
There we go.
We have a GG button we can press when games end. That'll be glorious. And we will, I believe, in the near future have post-game interviews. Looks like people are getting ready for that right now, though. Still, the elated team of Epic. You see Saucy on the left-hand side. It's actually one of the only 2 players I actually recognize. I haven't met the rest of them in person yet. But what a game. Super close game. Started out in the advantage for Against All Authority. The early ganks back and forth. First blood picked up thanks to that Amumu gang. And right back, fired back. Vayne got that kill in Misfortune. The team fight started going a little bit better for AAA. They started building an advantage. The Epic just found a crazy good fight. They built this giant advantage for themselves. They got really far ahead. They baited the Dragon into a Baron kill, which was glorious. And that was such a crushing mistake for AAA to not realize if we're all on one side of the map without ward coverage, they can kill Baron. They have Vayne and Warwick. They're really good at that. They're really good at killing Baron, and they just kind of let it happen. And I think that was a really, really silly mistake to make. That's the kind of thing you don't want to let yourselves do in the most really important games of your lives right now. More than any game you guys have played so far, these series of games, all sequentially more and more, mean the most of any game of all you've played. And just looking at the post-game stats.
Dyrus 6-1-16.
Yeah, 6-1-16, died once. Double lift as well, died once. Everyone on AAA died minimum 4 times. Almost all of them 6, Soaz only with 4. And Soaz did manage to go positive that game, 5-4-2. But really the only one. I mean, Momo started out so strong, but ended up only 3-6. Soraka, I mean, your team doesn't have many kills, you can't get many assists, but 6-4. Doing a good job as support, going that 10 minion kill strat. letting your teammates get all the money there, but just spamming Hearts of Gold, and Ward's basically letting his team get all the gold right there. And you can see Yellow Star, 333 minions, Westerice 1 shy at 332. But so many just metrics to go over. Dyrus, wonderful job top lane. I was so happy to see Singe, and he really did so much this game. It was really cool because they had a really good positioning gameplay where the battle would start, Amumu would jump in with Bandage Toss and ult, and then Karthus would flash, and he would use Defile, and John would be like, push back with R, push him back out of range, keep him from really doing anything there, push him back out of the way, kept Karthus out of the way, and then Singe would like run around, jump in there, and fling him back over some more, and he really kept Karthus out of that fight. And then by that time, Karthus had taken so much damage from everything else going on. Karthus would die, not get a lot done, get his ult off, which good, that's some nice damage there. He got a lot of ability power. But Epic played that battle so incredibly well. They picked wonderful, strong champions that served great purposes for themselves. And I mean, those team fights, you zoom out and just watch everything you can and hope you can catch it all. And you see battles up in here as Warwick's like holding down Soraka at the bottom, and then Misfortune's trying to push him back, and then Vayne's tumbling around doing crazy things, pushing dudes. Vayne can push someone back, Singe can push back, Janna can push back, Janna can push up. Annie's got a big stun. They have great position gameplay, and honestly, look at AAA's lineup, and it's really position based. I mean, Aurelia has to get into melee to fight. Singe doesn't really have to; he just kind of runs around, so it's okay if he gets pushed around. Yellow Star, a very location based, so the double up needs someone to push onto. And actually, I've been told that we now have time for the interviews. We're going to go ahead and take it over to Karen and Traveler, who are going to interview the players from the game.
All right, ready. Hello, we're here with AAA and Epic Gaming, the game you just watched. Really well played. How do you feel about the game?
Well, we are unhappy about how we played. In our opinion, we played bad, but they played well. We had also a little hardware problem. One player was totally cut off sound from us, so that was really hard.
We'll definitely correct that for next game. So, I mean, what are your thoughts? What do you want to do differently next game? You're going to be playing again in a few hours. What do you want to do?
Well, first of all, we will ask the crew to have sound. First of all, we will ask the crew to have sound on Soa's computer, because that was hard for him to play without anything on TeamSpeak. And we will do better picks and ban.
Great. And what were your thoughts behind the picks and banning this time?
That time, well, we don't know really this US team, even if we checked what they played, and we are not expecting the Vayne at all, else that would have been something that we would have banned.
Great, awesome. Great things to remember for next time. Thank you very much. And for you, we want to introduce yourself to everyone?
My name is Dan Din. In-game, also Dan Din.
Awesome. And could you say who you played for the last match? Which champion you played for the last match?
I played Warwick the last match. I was a jungle king.
Very cool. Very awesome control of the jungle. Now, about 20 minutes in, the kills are about equal, towers are about equal. What changed in the middle of that game?
What changed in the middle of that game was probably our ward control. We got in oracles a lot earlier than they did, so we were just killing off their wards the entire game and placing our own wards. And what that did was that forced their Soraka to get in oracles, right? And their Soraka had 10 CS by about 40 minutes, so we picked her off a lot, so she wasted a lot of money on oracles. So after about like 20-30 minutes, she was a non-factor. So her heal wasn't even healing for much.
Great, and obviously the right decision there. And then you guys got Baron twice and two aces in the game. And I mean, how do you feel that went overall? Like, is this a great example? Is there anything you want to learn for next game?
I think what we could have done better was our early game. We weren't used to their teleport brush gank, but just because that happened so many times this time, I don't think it's going to happen again. So hopefully going on to the next couple rounds we'll be a little bit stronger.
Great, yeah, definitely something to remember for next time. And for the next game, any thoughts on any bans for next time?
Any thoughts? Not necessarily. From what I've heard, the Europeans generally value Rumble a lot. So we don't know the strength of Rumble. Not a lot of people play Rumble in the US. So why play with like a X Factor, you know what I mean? So we're just going to ban what they call OP.
Great, sounds good. Well, thank you very much. And on to the next game. It'll be Asia versus EU. It's going to be really exciting. And we're going to have a quick commercial break, so stick around.
Welcome back to the DreamHack $100,000 Season 1 Championship. And as you can see, it's no longer Freaky Germany here. It is now Rivington the Third and myself, Xenon.
Yeah, we have some amazing matches to come up right now. We are going to have Fnatic, MSI versus Team Pacific. Actually, just talking to Pacific a little bit, and they were letting me know they're kind of not a new team. They've been playing for quite some time, at least a year or so. But they have added 2 more players to the team within the last 5 months. So it's definitely going to be, we'll see how that chemistry works. It looks good on paper, but, during play on the pitch, it's definitely going to be a different story, especially against a team like Fnatic.
Absolutely. They are still some of the unknowns here in this tournament, and many people are quick to say that they have no chance here. I would definitely not say that. I mean, first of all, we know nothing about them, and sometimes the fact that they have a completely different metagame than what we have in Europe and America can be a big advantage. I mean, our teams don't know what to expect. I hear they're even running a Pantheon. I mean, how do you deal with a Pantheon? When did you last see a Pantheon in high Elo play?
They have not. It's easy to counter. You think it's easy to counter, but, we haven't seen how it's played in high Elo. You're going to have to see what they do and where they really choose to utilize them. We could see that Penta Baron drop.
That'd be amazing. Additionally, and I think we should just say this on stream as well, there's been a little problem with Fnatic. In that XPK did not manage to make his connection into Sweden yesterday.
Indeed.
That's very unfortunate. Lots of flights got delayed yesterday, and he missed his connection into Gothenburg. So we are actually going to have a substitute playing for Fnatic for the group matches. Now, this is not just a random guy that they picked up here and like, hey, you can play League of Legends. Yeah, sure, play with us. This is a guy they know. This is We Will Fail Him. And he's been sort of the 5th Beatle for them for a long time. He is not officially a member of the team, but they've been playing with him a lot, so they know him. Unfortunately, they have a team strategy that is built around that dual AP, and XPK obviously one of the two very strong AP players of Fnatic. So we don't know how they're going to do without that second AP. They are definitely not going to be the ideal team right now. XPK is going to join us at some point, either today or at the very latest tomorrow, so they'll have their main lineup for later on in the tournament. It's going to be tough for them today, but they are confident. I spoke to them earlier, and they think that they can win this.
Yeah, when I was talking to Pacific just a little bit ago, they were letting me know that, they have a good amount of supports on their team. So if things get banned and they can't choose anything and they really get countered in their picks, which a lot of teams were doing, they said they actually were able to fly through their brackets in Asia. So they were able to do very well. So we're going to have to see how they pull that one out and bring that into the game with Fnatic here. We're going to see what they can do on Summoner's Rift in just a few minutes here as we talk about the teams. Pacific, like I said, they have the supports. They have the few AD carries. So if those AD carries really get taken out, it's going to be difficult for them to be able to come back.
It is hard, though, to outpick Fnatic. You cannot outpick the AP. It's possible. I mean, it would normally be. Actually, it's an interesting question. I don't know how much homework Pacific did, but without XPK there, it could be that the selection of APs is a little bit more limited in that I'm not sure if Shushin can play every AP in the game as well as XPK could, but normally you cannot outpick AP against Fnatic. You cannot outpick AD against them either. Lamia plays all ADs. He has no problem. He's not in AAA. You can ban Corki against Yellowstar, and that means they're not going to have their A game in their AD carry. You can't do that against Fnatic really, and so yeah, the only thing you can do really is outban the jungle. We'll have to see how the picks and bans go. However, right now we have an interview ready for us, and we're going to give over to that right now.
Hey guys, Traveler here, and I am here with representative from Team Fnatic, Expia. No,
I'm Lamia.
Lemian, I'm sorry. And we're missing Expia.
Yeah, XP, it's a sad story. Yesterday he was going to arrive by plane. He had 3 flights to catch, and his second flight was delayed, so he couldn't catch the other one. And he basically spent the night at the terminal, and he can't come here today. He's gonna only arrive in the afternoon when the group stage matches are gonna be over, so we kind of lack our star Spanish player.
So they're missing their star player. He's jet lagged. Is that going to affect your game at all?
Yeah, we basically fixed something. We picked a guy off the streets. We said yeah, hey, you want a beer? You can play for us. Sure, I don't know what LoL is, but I'm gonna play for you. But we actually know our other guy we picked up. So we kind of discussed all night about strategies and what we can do. So we should be fine. We should be able to give you a good show. So we're pretty excited.
All right, well, I hope this random dude helps your team out.
What?
I said I hope this random dude helps your team play.
Yeah, I hope so too. I really don't know him.
All right, back to you.
Some great stuff going on here. There's still camaraderie. Obviously not a random dude, like we said, a very good friend of the team, and they're gonna do that. And maybe even with the beer, we'll have to see how they utilize that.
Yeah, well, Weedle Failer is, unfortunately, he's a support player, so he mains support, and they brought Melisan, who is their star support player. I don't expect them to take Melisan off support. So what Weedle Failer is probably going to do is he's just going to fill X-Peak's AP role. Now, he's not just a support player, he's also a very, very strong AP player. Not on the level of X-Peak, but they should be good, and I expect them to run Weedle Failer on AP. We'll see, obviously.
Indeed. We'll have to see if they got the game up here, see if we can get into that one. They do have some people joining up. We have the Jönköping, Sweden is where we are right now, the Elmia Convention Center for DreamHack Summer 2011. Gorgeous Sweden right now, and everybody's so happy to be here, just playing their hearts out. $100,000, and we're going to have to see what they can do.
Okay, so if you are actually watching the stream here at DreamHack, and I know a lot of you will be doing that because I was here last year and I was just sitting in my PC watching the streams rather than getting up and walking over to where the games were played, do consider stopping by here. We do have a very nice spin-to-win wheel where you can win a couple of nice things, including a skin you may have heard of, a Viking Tryndamere skin, which we are keeping exclusive at the moment, so you can only win it through the cards that we give out here. And additionally, we have a free-to-play area over there with lots of very nice laptops.
Did you say free?
Free.
It's free.
It's also a free play area. That's the word I was looking for. But yes, the game is completely free. That's pretty amazing. Yes, well, you can just sit down and play a game of League of Legends. You can, of course, play it on your PC as well. I hear one or two people may have brought their PC to this event. I hear that's how it works.
I don't know, maybe like 10,000. I'm not sure.
Yeah, something like that. But if you come and play here on our laptops, you can also win something. And you can meet the very, very handsome writers and the two of us as well.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely going to be awesome. So make sure you guys check that out. The free-to-play area is over on the right side. If you're watching the stage right now, it is on your left-hand side, right behind the spin-to-win booth. We got these teams setting up, and we'll see what we have to do. Fnatic, you know, a very good team, definitely one to watch for. People seeing that Pacific may be the underdog in this matchup, and you know that's usually the person I root for. So I really want to see that what they can do, as well as having this solid team against Fnatic, who actually had to sub out a player.
Right. So I obviously watched the last game with great interest because I wanted to see how the first America versus Europe game turns out, and I must say I'm very, very. I wouldn't say disappointed, I'm surprised with the performance of AAA, especially because Epic left their A-team open to them. They left Amumu open for Linux, who is usually amazing.
Yeah, first pick.
Yeah, absolutely. Many of these European teams you will see, you cannot outpick their AP, you cannot outpick their AD, and you can only outpick support on one of the teams. Against game, you can kind of outpick support. But you can outpick jungler because the junglers tend to be very, very narrow. There tends to be only one or two champions that they can jungle really well. And if you outpick those, you can really, really mess with the team. So I was surprised that they just left Amumu open, and he did really well with it in the beginning of the game. But he got very, very greedy there. And yeah, generally greed is good, but if you want to win games, greed isn't so good. Greed is good for us, so do be greedy sometimes, players, because it makes for amazing watching, tower dives and close gangs. But if you want to win games, consider not being as greedy.
Definitely have to play that mentality game. And, like Dan said, his team really started to come out with ward control early in the game. They got that oracles really early, and they were able to come out very strong, as he said in his interview. And that's really one of the things that, we saw Solo Mid do in the U.S. regionals, is just ward control. They're able to keep a lot of turrets throughout the entire game, stopping that global gold from being, advantageous to the other team. And it's just a very good mentality to play on the other team. You're able to jungle invade after that situation, and that plays a huge role on the mentality of the team you're playing against. If you can't get your own buffs, you can't come out of your own base, and you can't farm, it's really just a downer, and you got to try to build up from that. And it's in team fights where you do that, so it has to become more concise, and you have to be more focused on where your damage is going, and really nothing can go wrong. It makes it that much harder.
That's actually a very interesting thing for people who are stuck in the around the 1300, 1400 ELO range. One of the best things you can do in the shop when you have 300 gold left over after you bought whatever item you wanted to buy wards. Just consider wards as a gold per 10 item as well, because that's what they basically are. You put them down, you are safer to
to farm, you cannot be ganked. Obviously, when you're dead, you don't earn as much gold because you can't last hit when you're dead. So yeah, wards are an investment that pay off over time. And I just spoke to Shushay a moment ago, and he said, if I go home and I buy whatever item I wanted to buy and I have 300 gold left over, I don't save that gold. I spend the 300 gold on wards. It doesn't just mean that that character himself has more ward control. It also means that the support doesn't need to buy as many wards, and that means the support can buy in earlier oracles. And we just saw how powerful an early oracles is.
Right.
And I think Rivington, you should also join the game.
Indeed.
Just in case. So if you find it, there should just be one game open on the tournament realm. If there's more than one game open, then we have a problem. Very good. There you go. We're in the game.
It's a very good point. It's almost like an investment when you go back. You know, you have something like you said, 300 some gold. You're going to grab a few wards. Maybe if it's not too late in the game for a health pot to take effect, you know, 200 health at high level at 18 or so is really not going to bring back too much HP. So you can just get another ward, maybe even a vision ward instead of just a regular ward, and you know, start to clear out that way. But late in the game, at that point, you're really just going to get the Oracle's Elixir and you know continue. There, as you see, Team Pacific getting ready to start it off. We saw Fnatic a little bit earlier talking to AAA and one of their players.
Are those flying sharks on their uniforms?
Yes, it's the center that they play for, the Pacific. And that is their support there. I believe this is their AD carry. We're going to see how they just go down the line here, these guys. I just got able to chat with them. Like I said, 3 other players were, you know, together for about a year. They played on the NA servers, and when the servers switched over to Asia, they were able to get on. They found some people that they were playing with, you know, that became their friends in these past 5 months. And they've really been able to put together a solid team, like I said, obviously running right through their brackets in their regionals. So we're going to have to see how they, you know, bring that over here. I asked them how was the flight, and they just said long, really, really long. And, you know, that also, if they didn't get a good night's rest, hopefully they can be on the top of their game, and they did get that rest that they so much needed. Waiting on one more player from Fnatic at this point in time. We can see Pacific has their entire team in the game, ready and raring to go. So we're going to have to wait for that to get in there, and we'll get your picks and bans going on.
Yeah, we're waiting for We Will Fail, the substitute, and probably we'll need to set him up with an account, or we need to let him play on somebody else's account, because obviously we did not plan for this. Yeah, I am excited about this match. The Flying Sharks, like you said, went through their brackets. They didn't have any problems in the qualifiers, so we're definitely seeing one of the best teams from that region there right now. And Fnatic not with their A lineup, not with the team that they would want to play with. We'll have to see how it goes. It's going to be an interesting game for sure. Fnatic are known for a couple of things, and I just have to bring this up at some point. They are known for the creative play of Shushay. So Shushay is definitely going to be one to watch. He does strange things. He made AP Alistair happen in Europe. He was one of the first to do it in, maybe not one of the first to play it in ranked, but he was the first who did it in a really big tournament last year at EMS with Team Birth, as they were known still then. They went on to become My Revenge and are now Fnatic. It's still pretty much the same team. He played in AP Alistair, and people were like, what is this? What is he doing? Why is he doing AP Alistair? And yeah, he wrecked. He wrecked with the AP Alistair. And these days, it's a standard build, you know? That's how it goes.
That's a champion we're definitely going to see a lot in this one. We're not going to see Orianna, however. She is not in this build, and we're going to see what happens, you know, if anybody was going to play her. Obviously, not too much. She hasn't been utilized. It's really a team composition build if you're going to use her, but we're not even going to worry about it in this one. And, you know, it's scary for Fnatic at this point in time because 2 teams will go home today. And if they don't have their full lineup, which, you know, their Peak is going to be here tomorrow. X-Peak will be here tomorrow. He will be able to make it. So hopefully they can make it to that situation and not really have to lose out in this first round here. I don't think that's going to happen, though, being one of the stronger teams in this tournament. However, Pacific about to give them a run for their money, and we're going to have to see how this match goes.
I definitely hope so. So I am actually shoutcasting as Freak. I hope that's not too confusing, but we are about to go into this game right now. Yeah, I'm giving the go right now. We should start the game any second, and we can see We Will Fail on X-Peak's account, so that's how we solved it. You will see X-Peak in the game. It's not actually X-Peak, it's going to be We Will Fail. Let's see who started the game. Melison, please hit start.
And we will be off and running for your picks and bans. Fnatic versus Pacific here for your second game of the day here at DreamHack Summer 2011, the $100,000 Championship Season 1 tournament brought to you by League of Legends.
I'm
and
excited.
Our HD stream by PaySafe Card. Very nice. I hope it looks fantastic to the 90,000 viewers we have going on. We'll have to see if we can get that up to the 6-digit number as we get this game going. It's going to be a very good game, and we'll have to see 14 seconds for that pick ban. Nocturne coming out, shutting down the jungler.
Well, Nocturne is an interesting ban. They may not know about the European metagame, but Nocturne is a kind of B-tier jungler for us. If you have nothing else, sure, you'll jungle Nocturne, but you want to have your tank in the jungle because the dominant meta is still a double AP meta in Europe, and there is no room for a tank anywhere else. Oh, there is a Jarvan ban. That's actually interesting because I would have expected them to run a Jarvan. Their player Cyanide jungles a mean Jarvan. So it's interesting why they banned him right away, but they will probably have a reason for that. So I definitely expected the European teams to see a tank in the jungle, just like we saw last game. AAA was running that Amumu in the jungle. It's simply because there is no room in any of the lanes for a tank at the moment. There needs to be an AP top, and there needs to be an AP mid, and a support and AD bottom lane.
Yeah, and something we've talked about before is the ability to just have that level over somebody, the health, the regen, the experience, what the damage you're about to do. And people don't really take that into consideration when one level can make a huge difference to the control of your lane. And even with the junglers, lane presence is a very big thing. You don't really have to get that gank every time you go in lane. Making yourself present in the lane pushes that back for the opposing team. And you have a lot more room to farm. You have a lot more room to get your last hits. And we see Vladimir coming in for Pacific and Vayne for Fnatic. Two very big picks. Vladimir self-sustaining, Vayne a lot of damage, that true damage coming through, and Soraka, also being picked in the hands of Pacific.
It's a ban actually. We're still in the ban phase.
The ban, yes.
So a Soraka ban and the final ban, Rumble. Also very interesting because EU teams are really strong on Rumble, and I would have expected them to run on them. And oh wow, there is a Twisted Fate right away, so they're gonna go for the we have a disconnect, unfortunately. Let's see what's going on there and remake the game as soon as possible. You need to speak to one of the ESL guys. Let's see if one of the admins can... Okay, so we're going to have a reset in just one moment. We're going to tell you what's going on. It's a bit unfortunate when this happens. Now, you showed your cards already. You showed your hand.
For sure.
But we didn't see more than one pick yet from Pacific, so it's definitely not too much. Oh, I think we had a problem with it. The teams were on the wrong sides. It's very important actually what side you're on because I think it's because of both first pick and what side you're going to be on the map.
Yes, very much so.
And because of the seeding, Fnatic deserved first pick and first ban, and the blue side, I believe it is. And we did not pay attention to that. That was our bad there. Very sorry about that. We're going to have to remake right now. And I don't think that we need to pick and ban the same champions. No, I don't think we need to do that. Okay, so as soon as Xpeaker comes into the game again, Xpeaker, impersonated by We Will Failure. As soon as we have that impersonator back in the game, we can get started again. Okay, there we go. So please hit the start button right away. There we go. Yes. I am not used to German keyboard. I'm a disgrace to my homeland. Yes. Okay. Let's see if the bans picks are going to look any different now. They probably are because you are going to leave completely other champions open if you have first pick. If you know that you have that first pick, you can just leave a champion open, force the enemy to ban that champion if they don't want to see it, or just take it. You know. There's the Jarvan ban again, though. I would have expected them to leave Jarvan, or maybe they're going to leave Rumble open now. We'll see.
Maybe, possibly. Maybe they're going for the same bans. I don't think they will be. It's, a new deck of cards here. Like you said, they did show their hand, but then again, they do have their counter picks and their picks ready. So we're going to have to see what happens in this one. Looks like they all are going same, but we'll have to see here.
I don't think that we gave a ruling out that we have to pick the same champions and ban the same champions.
Right on.
They can pick and ban what you want. Actually, we tell that to the Pacific player. Pick and ban what you want. There we go. Switching this to English keyboard. There we go. Yes. They are picking and banning the same again. I hope that there's not been a misunderstanding, but we're not going to remake now. These are the picks and bans that they have.
It looks like they will go through the list as well.
They are going for the same ones again, which is, fine. Fine by me. All right, so we see that Vayne banning again. That Vayne, oh god, so painful in the hands of Westrice, I believe it was. That was an amazing Vayne. And
Westrice is not somebody you want to give a carry to.
No. And people say that, you can get Westrice out of the game by banning Akali, and no, you can't. sorry, he can play other champions really well too. And we see the exact same pixel bands.
All right, there's the Alistar.
I'm happy.
Yeah,
I'm happy
I hear
right
you
there,
smile
man.
on your face.
This is going to be Shusei's infamous AP Alistar. Oh.
You can see Alistar just staring them down. They now have 50 seconds left for their 2 picks. We're going to see what they go for this one. They did have TF coming out on that first one. We'll have to see if they use him for there. There he is again, but it looks like the picks and bans have gone the same. He was switching for somebody last time. I believe he had Clarity and or Clarity and Fortify, but I don't think that was really what he's running. Maybe just picking for himself. Would have switched for somebody, because that's Clarity and Fortify. Isn't something you really run all together anyways. And Mumu possibly in the jungle for Vi, and we'll have to see what he does with
Remember that they can switch their summoners later on still. They can switch their summoners up until the last moment, so that doesn't really say anything. I don't think he would have run Clarity. I like that, actually. Many people are going to say, why wouldn't you run 2 defensive summoners on a carry? But I really like the Clairvoyance. People underestimate how important Clairvoyance is. It's the same with wards, you know? Knowing what's going on the map is just power. It's extremely powerful. So it looks like they don't want to leave Janna open. That's why Lamia is picking. Janna is obviously going to switch that Janna with Melisande, who's their support player. But yeah, they believe that Janna is a very valuable support to pick up, and they don't leave her open for Pacific.
Yeah, she has a great utility. Really doesn't need anything early game to help herself out. She has the shield, she has the slow, she can get away from most things. She can pop you up and stun you in the area. And we do have a Karthus coming out in the hands of Wormy. Very nice, and the teleport as well. Not something you really want. A good amount of global so far, and a huge support coming out of the hands of Taric. And we are going to see that it possibly was a switch for the Clarity, or the Clarity and Fortify that could have gone to Taric later in the game, because he will keep that.
Interesting. Clarity. I don't know. I'm really, really careful about saying, oh god, you can't do that.
Well, they're very heavily mana-based at this point in time.
Right, they are. But still, even if you have a very heavily mana-based team in Europe or North America, I don't think you'd ever see Clarity picked in a tournament game. It's just not something you see. Okay, and then we have the last 2 picks. We have Corki, going to be played by Lamia, and Weevil Failer currently has the Nunu pick. He's probably going to switch that around with Cynet, and he's going to play the Malzahar. Then Malzahar, Alistar, I like that for the APs. That is going to be really strong. Twisted Fate, I expect they are going to build him AP. That is just the only build that really makes sense at the moment. If you build an AD or a proc Twisted Fate, where you buy items that do damage or effects on procs, you have to be too close. You have to be in medium range for the entire fight, and that just spells doom for Twisted Fate. So he's going to go for that AP Twisted Fate, probably with a very quick Lich Bane to be able to push down turrets in split pushes very, very quickly. And we see the last pick now for Team Pacific. Let's see, they need their AD. What?
All right. We did see a lot of very good Garen play in the US regionals. It was a character to bring about a lot of wins for the teams. I can't remember exactly who it was at this point in time. There were just so many amazing games going on. But he was chosen, and we see the switches going around now. Amumu does grab the jungle. TF will go, and he switches with one. It looks like Ido grabs that, as Vi was the one to grab Garen and Gibbo at the top. So a lot of switching going on the right side. They wanted to get who they wanted and made sure that it was locked down in the way they wanted it.
So there's not going to be Clairvoyance on Twisted Fate. Okay, so Flash Ghost on Twisted Fate. So I think they may actually play him as an AD range. I mean, they need an AD in a team,
for sure.
Right?
Yeah, they're going to have those 2 ADs in a very heavy AP team after that. So it'll be a very nice switch up from what they had before.
This is actually really a clash of metas. This is a completely different meta. We have a very strong dual AP here. I would be surprised that Shusei builds anything other than full-out AP on Alistar. And he's going to build a Lich Bane rather soon as well, because if you get in with a full combo and then you can add a Lich Bane hit, because you're close range anyway after your headbutt, you get that Lich Bane hit in, and it's just so much burst. People just don't expect a flying cow.
They're one of the highest base damages in the game, to do a lot of damage anyway, so he's going to be able to get that slap in after he does his attacks, but really leave it up to Lamia's to do so much shredding of armor, and then it's just going to be Malzahar on the outside throwing down the percentage damage with, Melisande coming out with the healing when necessary in the team fight to support the team. And Nunu with Absolute Zero as well. They have so many AoEs right now. If you could just pulverize in that Absolute Zero, it's really going to cause trouble for the other team. However, they do have a good amount of slows, stuns, and whatnot. They have the dazzle, they have bandage toss, and they have yellow card. So they do have a lot of CC on both teams, and we're going to see that there's going to be a lot of just stops in the fight for that quick second where nobody's going to really know where to focus. A lot of people are just going to be stunned, and we're going to have to see how they utilize that. Everybody is running flash on both teams. It's something you really need to run. You can get very low in a fight and almost use that as bait and flash right behind your team, and the opposing team is forced to walk into that wall because you're going to want that kill, especially if it's somebody who's being fed and they have a lot of money behind them.
And we're going into the game right now. I'm a little bit concerned about Nunu here. There's so many champions that can cancel his ultimate. It's going to be really bad for him. There's a stun on Tarek, there's a silence on Garen, there's a stun on Amumu, and there's a stun on Twisted Fate. So 4 of the 5 enemy champions can cancel that Absolute Zero. And if the Absolute Zero doesn't channel for a long time, it doesn't do a lot of damage. And what's more important in these high-level games is that the area of effect slow just goes away once that spell is cancelled. And in these high-level games, you really just want the Nunu there to channel Absolute Zero so that the enemy cannot get close to your carries. We'll have to see how it goes. Now, I'm very interested. We're going to be looking for that level 1 fight here. We're going to see if they look for it. And we are ready and going into the game right now. And we are in game here. We're following Team Fnatic right now as they are walking toward the middle. I would pick a Team 1 fight. I would pick a level 1 fight. What do you think, Rivington? With this sort of lineup, would you pick a level 1 fight?
I think both teams have a really good chance of coming into this fight strong. Early game, not a lot of stuns on the side of Fnatic at this point in time, but they are definitely in favor of Pacific at this. And Garen actually not in the bush there. There he goes, getting into the bush. You can see the pings bottom from Pacific. They're going to hide right next to that top dragon bush and kind of hang out right now. Gibbo going down bottom to make sure nobody was straggling and coming out. And a lot of wards bought by both teams. We did see Gibbo buy a ward, also Nunu with a ward in his hands.
And look at that, there's already a ward at the ramp leading up to blue for Pacific. So they are very wary of Team Fnatic stealing their buffs early game. And Fnatic are being very defensive like you normally are in these games. Pika Vivalfela is going home already. Obviously he was spamming his skills to get that charge for the minion. But as it turns out, it wasn't necessary because Team Pacific did not pick a level 1 fight. And it looks like the teams that are setting up very defensively right now, both are just going to give their blue buffs to their junglers and then continue laning normally.
Yeah, no invasions here. Very safe play by both teams. They don't want to leave anything to chance at this point in time. You can see a few pings from Pacific in the top near their red. They think maybe they're there. We haven't seen anything down here. Clairvoyance going up from the hands of Pacific. I cannot find where that is at this point in time, but they're really about to use everything they have in this tournament to their favor. It looks like they're going to use 3 to get blue. We can see the Fog of War going up there for shared, and we will see what's going on. It's going to be, I believe, Alistair Twisted Fate made a good amount of damage on that first headbutt. Wow.
Yeah, that just
really
sets the
just
tone.
piercing through. It does set the tone, and you're right that it's going to be that AP Alistair, the Doran's ring to start. And these guys are off and running. Looks like Nunu almost on his blue buff as well as Amumu. So the junglers are also kind of neck and neck at this point in time. Looks like we're going to have a Corki and Janna to babysit on bottom with Garen and Tarek. Tarek, a way better babysitter with that consistent heal. Janna can kind of just assist the escape of the Valkyrie of Lamia's at this point in time. And it's going to be AP versus AP straight up top. Malzahar versus Karthus.
That is going to be a very, very tough lane for Karthus. I mean, if he can keep Malzahar away, okay. But if Malzahar gets in and gets enough ease landed, it'll be very, very painful for Karthus.
Looks like Nunu already doing a little jungle invasion here, stealing the golems up top. Amumu will be going for this Wraith, so he will not see that. Very nice job. Amumu easy, able to self-sustain there with his consume. You can just take a few minions and pulverize. Very nice job by Shushe in mid. A lot of damage going down in the hands of Twisted Fate, and it looks like he will be going for boots in 3 pots. So that's 600 HP. Oh. He's able to stay in lane with, and that's really one of the things you want to be able to have is lane sustain. You want to be able to stay in lane as long as possible, get your last hits, and get the experience. As we said before, absolutely, that level above somebody can really make a difference.
And top lane, Nunu was thinking about a gank here against Karthus, changed his mind. Amumu went to the golems and found his golems missing. Oh, and Nunu, look at that, he's going right back there.
Wow.
Oh, this is bad news for Amumu. Oh, this is bad news.
No.
Yes, can he get a kill now? He has the slow down on Amumu, and Amumu flashes away. Oh, and he flashes after him. He really wants that first blood. One more hit, 2 more hits, and that should be first blood and double buffs for Team Fnatic.
A very nice job, and that was the perfect way to do it. A lot of
and bottom, wow. Immediately Lamia Settle gets picked up on, both extremely low on the enemy team. Melisande does not have the damage offer to do anything. Can Garen actually kill him? Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
And he goes down to minions. Will Tarek also goes down to minions. Amazing. Oh, and mid, Alistar catching Twisted Fate. Is there enough damage with the Ignite? Probably not. No, Ignite obviously scales with levels, and at level 4 it doesn't do that much damage in. But that is a Twisted Fate that has been taken out of that landing phase. Wow, a lot of quick action here very early in the game.
Amazing job, and you know, to point out Nunu waiting for the buff to be taken and then stealing the buff, refreshing his blue, refreshing that, or getting a red, I should say, and he's able to go back into his jungle. Great job down bottom. I would have thought, you know, that Melisande was going to come up with a kill on the Garen, but he chose to run around instead of attack. A very good rule of thumb to go for is to do as much damage you can do as if you know you're going down. If you know you're not going to make it back to the turret, turn around and fight as much as you can. That's going to be money in your pocket if you're able to get it. Shushay taking a little bit of damage there. We didn't need to. Not going to hurt him too much. He does have that heal and a full amount of mana. Great gameplay so far by Pacific as well as Fnatic, both getting kills. It is 2-2, and we are only 5 minutes into the match at this point.
I'm liking that. I'm like that. That makes for good watching. Shushay obviously running his AP rune page, so he's running a lot of flat AP. He has that Doran's ring, and on top of that, he is at 33 AP right now. So even right away, his heals heal for quite a lot. Oh, and Amumu setting up there. Oh, can Amumu get the bandage toss in against Shushay? Shushay just going for the damage because Cyanide is here as well, and Pacific now have to possibly draw back. Yeah, Shushay can heal for himself enough, and he is safe. That was interesting. Twisted Fate baiting Shushay there while Shushay was baiting him as well, but nothing happening there.
That was a very good fight right there. A lot of damage actually going on to Shushay. Amumu was able to do quite a bit as he heads up top now. We'll see what he can do here. Looks like he's not going to go for a real aggressive gank on this one. He may just come out for lane presence.
Bottom lane, wow, so much damage for the Janna, and he takes Janna down, wow. Oh, a flash in from Corki. Will Corki be able to get damage in? Yes, he has the damage output for Garen. Garen goes down as well.
Very nice job there. Corki, knowing his limits, did the Valkyrie out and not a Valkyrie in, saving that escape for himself. Another headbutt and some good damage coming out of the hands of Shushay right now. They're about same HP in mid as Amumu begins to head back towards top. No, going back into his jungle, just making sure nobody's invading. That Nunu really wants it, and actually looks like he will try to do something here. The buffs are still on. He does have a little bit of time left on his red buff here. No, he's just placing the ward, and he will get there before Amumu sees him, and they're going to be out of that one. And it looks like we'll have a gank top. He is going bottom. He does see Amumu when he comes in with a tantrum. He will get out of that one, though, as the pool goes down. Nunu comes in to help and assist in the fight. Alistar still pushing in middle strong. Each of these players are just kind of poking each other back and forth at this point.
Tarek going very low
taking
bottom,
a lot of damage there.
Yeah, he gets out of it. He gets out of it. Very, very aggressive game so far. You are a little bit ahead of me again, Rivington. So for the watchers at home, if it looks like Rivington can see the future, he can actually see the future. But if he calls the skills a little bit before you see them, that is why. Also, he is obviously a 7th and a prophet, and he just knows what's going to happen.
It happens. It happens.
Yeah.
So we're going to see Garen push back to his tower in middle. Looks like Twisted Fate is also forced to hug his tower right now. These guys aren't going to be really able to get any last hits. As we look at the bottom, Tarek obviously not supposed to get too many last hits in the beginning of the game. Really comes up with the assists late game. He does have 4. 42 in the hands of Karthus up top, and we're going to see Malzahar's at 43, so doing a very nice job. Karthus has gone for the Magi's. No real kills for him yet, and we're going to have to see how that plays into his favor. That's a quick buy, and that's a quick 1,200 gold you may not want to waste. It looks like they may be going for the invade here on the blue. The pings are going down. You just wanted that clairvoyance. No invade coming down here, and he just wanted to be safe and cautious in the play.
That Major Soul Stealer, that is a statement of intent. That says, I am going to be super aggressive. I'm going to look for those team fights, because that item is not worth its weight in gold at all if you don't get any kills in. So it's a bit of a wasted buy unless you actually go and kill people really quickly. So that Karthus needs to be aggressive, or he just wasted a lot of gold.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a blue donation coming out to the hands of Alistar rather, and he is going to be able to head back to mid. That easily helps him. Actually, he's going back to purchase. Has a little gold under his belt. We'll have to see what the other teams are doing. Tarek setting down some ward, puts on a vision, and he will be able to stop the ward coming out of the hands of Pacific there on Dragon. So they do not have vision on that area. They're not going to quickly go for it. They could, though, however, with being so spread out. Alistar is not on the map. They don't know where he is, and that's the reason they're really just going to set off on this one. There's a lot of time on the ward, and they'll be able to play with that in a little bit. Looks like Garen and Tarek doing a good push here. Can he get a dazzle down and a very nice stun coming out of the hands of Melisande there? Able to pop him up.
And that is exactly why you have Janna on the bot lane. Janna is just an amazing babysitter. She has the shield to reduce the damage you take. She has the tornado for a knock-up, and from level 6 on she also has an ultimate to push them back. So if you have a good Janna, and Melisande is an amazing Janna, then you are just safe as an AD, and that's a good feeling. You can just farm and you know there's somebody who will take care of you.
It is really good, and they can see us. We have Pacific putting down some wards there, and they are in the bush kind of pinging it. You know, Malzahar is right here. He kind of may have seen that ward be placed. He may have just seen somebody placing that ward. And Karthus backing up. He does not know what's going on below him at this point in time. And I don't know why he's backing up. Probably playing a little passive. He's just letting XP push up, and this is actually their substitute right now. So he's playing very aggressive. As I said before, rule of thumb, don't pass the river alone. And right now, without any vision, this could really cost him at this point in time. Amumu has double buff as he comes up to that top lane. Still just farming his gold out, and looks like outright they're going to go straight for him, breaking the line of sight as he goes in the bush. A very nice dodge as he turns around, but Twisted Fate coming with the ultimate in. It's going to be a 3v1 situation. A blue card instead of a yellow. Slight mistake will allow XP to get away, and they will be unfortunate and unlucky on that one. As Alistar, however, coming up top, kind of wants to join this fight up a little bit, and they're going to switch up lanes here as Dragon is being taken down low in a 4v1 on Dragon. Nice job coming out of the hands of Fnatic, getting that global gold, and it looks like Alistar will just kind of hang out here. Doesn't want to take too much damage. He does have a lot still around him, playing very aggressive right now in the hands of Fnatic, and at 3-3 with 10 minutes and no turrets, it's only 13k to 11k, so this game is still very close in anybody's match.
Absolutely. Yeah, we were seeing Alistar trying for something there, but standing on the wall in the bushes. And as I just switched through the map view, look, this is the map view that Team Pacific has right now. Do you see how many wards they have all over the place? And compare that to what Fnatic currently see. They also have those wards. They have the ward in here, they have the ward in this river, but down below is much, much less that Fnatic can actually see. Going back to the combined Fog of War view here. Bottom lane, Garen is obviously not a good farmer. He is at 52 anyway. He seems to be building a very aggressive Garen. He's building that Brutalizer first. That means he's probably going to build a damage Garen, while I'm really much more used to just a tanky Garen.
Yeah, that is something that they don't have too much of. I mean, they do have a Mumu to kind of take that brute force of the fight and allow Garen to spin around into Mumu's ult and do a lot of damage. We're going to see Alistar totally pushing down on Karthus right now. Does he have enough to get a headbutt down? He can still get to it and stop it if it ends at the headbutt. And there it is. He is able to get a Shushay taking down Karthus right behind the turret. A very nice job, but Mumu coming in, getting the tantrum on, and he does have his pull down. The heal of Alistar could keep him alive here, pulverized up, and he jumps to the other side, but the ult from Malzahar stays on as TF joins the fight, and we'll have to see what he can do. A good silence coming out of the hands of X-Peak right there, the substitute for them, and he was able to shut down Twisted Fate and end any more of that fight that was about to happen. A very nice job as Alistar. Shushi, as you said, with that AP, just playing very aggressive, pushing past all the turrets, and knowing the map awareness of where Pacific was, so he could get that kill, get assistance from Amumu, and get out of there.
That was amazing.
Or Malzahar, rather.
He is really, really aggressive there. Unfortunately, he made a mistake there, and whenever I play with an Alistar, they always make that mistake. You put down the perfect pool, you ult someone in that pool as Malzahar, and then
bump him out.
Alistar comes and just bumps him out. No, you're not going to kill that guy. I'm going to protect him. Just like Double Lift, who was very friendly last game and protected, I think it was the Soraka from Team AAA there.
That's all right. Everybody loves a good troll, though.
Yes.
Looks like we have 3 heading down towards bottom. Corki and Janna quite pushed out on this one. We'll have to see what they can do with this. Nunu actually quite far in the jungle as well. And Amumu going around. Oracle's bought quite early again, 13 minutes into the game. They will have that ward control down in their favor now. I don't see Oracle's on the Fnatic side at this point in time, but they do have that CV and they're using it effectively.
Yeah, very good there. Nunu was placing wards in the enemy jungle there. So very, very aggressive warding here. Nunu is a jungler who needs to counter jungle. He is not the fastest jungler if he just stays in his own... I mean, he is a fast jungler, but if he just stays in his own jungle and only takes his own jungle creep, he's not going to have as much of an effect on the game as he does when he actually goes to the enemy jungle. Because no one can do it like Nunu. No one counter jungles like Nunu. And it's just... It's brutal to have it. Nunu just steal all your creeps or force you to fight him in the jungle. And you don't want to fight Nunu in the jungle. He just consumes something. He heals 500, 600 HP and keeps fighting you. It's not a fight you can win as a jungler.
Shushe playing very aggressive up top, able to take half health. Looks like Malzahar is heading into the blue. Will he be able to get it here with the silence? And he goes for the ult on Amumu. Dabe taking a lot of damage. He flashes over the wall. Will they be able to catch him? The dazzle from Taric. Gibbo stopping peak, and it will be the R from Karthus pressing his ultimate, and he will be able to do a lot of damage there to a few of the members. Looks like they will be able to get their health back, though, as they come into this matchup. Gibbo still looking to get out of that one. Dabe very hurt in that situation. And Alistar again pushing into the face of Wormy. Will Shushe be able to get a second kill onto Karthus? And he does. The ultimate already used, and it looks like he's just going to try to lay waste as Alistar runs away. Corki almost getting hit by Garen. If he can get that E off, he will be able to silence and possibly do some more damage here. Going for the Gatling to tear apart the armor of Garen, but he was not able to get enough damage down or really do anything that would help. Taric doesn't really have to worry about the heal. Probably give one to Garen, and then they'll be back into this lane without any problems. Looks like the top turret has finally fallen, and that'll be the first of the match. 15 minutes into the game. Well played so far by Fnatic. It is 5-3. They're only up by 2 kills, and the gold is still quite close. And we'll have to see how this plays out, as really only one dragon control has been thrown in the way of Fnatic.
Well, you say the goal is quite close, but I see a 3.5k advantage here in favor of Fnatic, and 1 tower versus 0 as well. I would say currently it's up to Pacific to make a move. Pacific needs to win a team fight.
True.
They need to do something here because Fnatic is only going to get stronger. Their strongest AP carry is farming up basically unstopped. He has the highest farm in the game currently with 104 CS on Alistar. He is 2-0-0. He has a lot of gold. And look at that. Even though he is an AP carry, he's currently carrying 5 wards with him. 5 wards. That's exactly what we talked about before the game. This mentality of the support buys ward. That's something that's really being phased out currently. Everyone buys wards because it just enables the support to do other things as well. And why wouldn't you buy wards? I mean, it's just, like we said, it's an investment. It pays off. You get the money back and then some.
Looks like they have 3 down bottom. Could be trying something here if they are able to get the push out. I don't see too much happening at this point in time. Garen will be forced to back. They are going to get this turret. That'll be a second one in their favor. They definitely have enough minions to do this, and Amumu and Taric are actually forced to do nothing about that. Hopefully, they're just hoping minions come back and they're able to still grab XP, because right now the level situation for these guys, it looks like it is 12, 9, 10, 6, and 11. Actually, Melisande, level 6 right now. Not really somebody that needs to be high level, but can be focused down in a matter of seconds, and that's another person out of the fight. Her utility, or the ultimate, utility on her ultimate, I should say, is really what these guys need, since they have a Taric with a regular heal as well on the side of Pacific. So they're going to need her late game. Looks like they will all go for this mid turret. Mumu coming in with the bandage grab just on the minion of Malzahar of X-Peak, and they're going to clear this minion wave, poke it a few more times. I believe it's going to be Corki to get this one down if he can just leave that line of defense in front of him. Nunu, Malzahar, and Alistar, if they're there. There's Corki just putting some shots onto it. Actually not doing too much damage. It looks like they may initiate the bandage toss, missing. So much damage going down. Malzahar throws down the ultimate in the pool. Absolute Zero going down in the area of the turret as it falls. A full proc on Absolute Zero, and players are falling left and right. The Karthus ultimate to come up. One lives. Fnatic Lemia's taking down one. Lemia's taking down Wormy. Gibbo falls to the hands of Shushi in that battle, and it looks like they're still focusing on TF. Will he be able to get away from this one? And he does. The yellow card coming up, and the Ghost, no pulverizer headbutt can take him down on that one, and he gets away clean. 4 down to the 3 on the side of Fnatic, and that was actually a good fight for both teams, and really the money advantage huge now at 24,000 to 19,000. It really just spreading out there at 5K.
Ouch, that fight just hurt. And I just checked, Twisted Fate is actually building AP, so his cards do hurt, but they just don't have that consistent damage output, you know? That's what a ranged carry does. If a ranged carry is in a fight and you manage to protect your ranged carry, there's just a sustained amount of DPS that your team can put out. They don't have that. They have Garen, and Garen needs to go very close, and he'll just die. You know, he has a Hex Drinker right now, and he did build Mercury Treads, and that's nice and defensive, but he's just still going to be focused down and die. Fnatic now setting up for Dragon, and I don't think there is anything that Pacific can do. Pacific are trying to come in here for a team fight.
This is going to be difficult for them. A good headbutt and pulverizes. He gets right in there. The pool already going down as well. The ultimate coming out of the hands of Amumu. A lot of damage going down to Garen, and he is forced out of the fight. Karth is forced to flash away, possibly with his ultimate up. I believe it is not up, actually. He's waiting a few more seconds on that. The clairvoyance going down, so they have vision, and they will be able to pick up another kill. Amumu goes down, so the tank is out of the question right now, and they will. He just actually got back up. That definitely hurts. Not something you want to happen. That means you're losing a ton of experience you could be soaking up in lane. TF is forced to go top of the map. Can't really do much as he has lost a turret, and you can't really cross that river. A good rule of thumb, as I said before, you need some partner, power in numbers, the buddy system if you're crossing that river. If you're going to jungle invade, you have to be very careful. At this point in time, your team is pretty much down in the fight. 6,000 gold between these two teams. The turrets are 3-0 right now. And there's just a lot of control going on by Fnatic on this entire map.
And we can see how Fnatic decided to counter the Twisted Fate pick from Pacific. They simply run teleport on their top, which means that if Twisted Fate tries to split push, well, I'll just teleport there and stop him, and that's what he just did. And Twisted Fate really needs more farm. He has his skins, his rage blades now, and they're nice and all, but he needs more farm to make a real impact in a fight, and they just need that sustained damage output, and that's just not coming. We have 151 attack damage on Garen, so that's not bad. But like I said, you saw that in the last fight. Garen just got focused down in absolutely no time. And Fnatic may now be setting up for Baron. Was actually pinged a couple of times, and there don't seem to be any wards from either team near Baron. There was a clairvoyance right now from Fnatic, and I think that was a preparatory clairvoyance, as they are now actually setting up for Baron.
Yeah, indeed, Jano's heading up there, checking to see if there are any oracle, or if there are any wards with her oracles. She finds one in the bush there in mid. They're going to go ahead and clear that one out. Alistar roaming pretty hard in the jungle, sets a ward down right next to the ward of Pacific at this point in time. 4 in mid for Pacific, trying to hold on to this tower. Taric will back, possibly needs to get a buy under his belt here, but he sees this huge horde of Fnatic coming down mid. Actually, no, they'll start to head into the jungle, and now controlling the jungle of Pacific. Like I said, playing with the mentality of your opponent, you're able to just take their buffs. They can't farm because their turrets are down. They have to wait for all the minions to be pushed, and now their jungle is being taken away from them as well.
Twisted Fate is actually split pushing bot at the moment, and he did take a turret down, so that's the first turret kill for Pacific right there. But at the same time, they're losing top. Well, are they losing top? No. Yeah, no, they're not pushing it right now. Corki can obviously, sorry, I missed that. Corki can obviously 1v1 TF, and there's a fight breaking out at top. Amumu way out of position. There's nothing he can do with his ulti there right now. Karthus died right away in the bushes, also out of position. And Shusha is still going, even though his team is in the forest. He's like, I don't care. I can take you. I have my ulti. You're not going to do any damage to me.
You know, that's a great ability of knowing what the constraints of your character are. Shujay knows he has his ultimate. He can go in there and do a few more things. If Jana was able to get in and get a slowdown and somebody, possibly one more person, they were definitely able to get one more kill there. But he pulled out, knowing his boundaries. A very nice play there, just going back into mid, getting blood boil off of Cyanide. And he is able to just heal himself up with that quick E, get back into the match. And it looks like they will start to gather together in mid here, push on this turret, and we're going to have to see what they can do. Wormy is there to lay waste right behind. That's going to do a good amount of damage and clear these minions out. And it looks like they will head back into the jungle and start clearing out their lanes and start getting everything pushed so they can focus those team fights in mid.
Unfortunately, we currently don't have the technology in our spectator mode to show stacks on stacking items, but I cannot imagine that Karthus has a lot of stacks on that Soul Steel. That is actually an item I would consider selling at this point. I mean, I heard arguments to the contrary where they say if you're going to come back from this, you're only going to come back if you win a team fight, and then it's good to have the Soul Stealer, but he needs that gold, he needs to build some AP. Currently, he just has the needlessly large rod and an amplifying tome, and that's 151 AP Karthus up against the 337 AP cow. That is just, yeah. Fnatic are now taking Baron. There's nothing that... oh, they're not taking Baron. Oh, actually, they're caught Twisted Fate trying to protect Baron. Wow, Twisted Fate is out of that combat. Look at that. Bursting him down, even though he was running to 500 out of 1,500 HP. And that should actually be a safe Baron for Fnatic right now. They're choosing not to go for it. They're trying to catch someone, and they're catching Amumu, who flashes out. Will he get away? There's a slow wall from Karthus, but Amumu is actually going in, triggering his ultimate. But there's just not enough damage output there. Then Twisted Fate is coming back in with his ultimate from behind. He is getting forced down. Corki is going to take him down in no time. Fnatic XP goes down. Karthus goes down to a Ice Blast. Corki actually in the AoE there from Karthus also goes down. Shusha has enough health and cleans up the team, and that's an ace against Pacific from Fnatic. There was 3 surviving members of Fnatic. They could probably do a 3-man Baron, or they could take the advantage and just push a couple of lanes. Amazing team fight there, a little bit messy. They got drawn apart too much, and I question somewhat if that Amumu should have gone in before his team was in a position to do damage. But yeah.
Yeah, that's one of those things. They were caught very off guard. TF was just backing because he took a lot of damage as he was the first one there at Baron. And then they still considered the fight as they all had to get back in there. Garen was not able to do his spin to win inside that Amumu ult, so it didn't really give him that much damage. You could see Garen at the end of the fight, before he went down, tried to bring him back into the wake of Karthus. Just wasn't enough damage to take him down. And they did a very good job of focusing in that fight. Were able to take down 4 of the members of the team. And Fnatic really now has this match in their favor. A little bit of a power play to them as 36,000 to 27,000 gold, 3-1 on the turret, so that's global gold in their hand as well. And a lot of wards on the side of Fnatic. If you see that scoreboard right there, at least 2, 4, 6, there's 9, 10 wards to be placed, with 3 to be placed on the side of Pacific. So the map, once their wards go, they're going to have perfect vision of this map. They're going to be able to set them down all the time. Janna again using her oracles to check for wards on Baron. Everybody's just pretty much trying to soak up XP as they can, but everybody's only on 2 minions, so they're not getting that much experience from these minions right now. The lanes are actually pretty pushed for them, so they're not able to do much about it. Twisted Fate is on bottom, and hopefully he can get to his team, because the jungle invasion right now from Fnatic is quite hard, and they are just right inside every bush that they can be on Pacific. And you can see Pacific wants to go in their jungle, they just know they cannot. They only have a few wards, one over by right behind Baron, and more so in their right jungle, guarding blue and guarding that lane towards their second defensive turret. So not too much of a ward placement that's really giving them any assistance right now. And we do have 5 members of Fnatic in mid to try and push this turret. Looks like they will be able to push it after this minion wave right near mid is able to come up past the river and give them some control on this. Like, Corki should be doing a good amount of damage. TF on bottom, however, is going to start rushing through. He only has a few minions down there, about 5, 2 that can take 2 full hits from a turret, so we won't be able to get much damage down here. Does he have the attack speed he needs? And he does have that Rage Blade, so he is going to start stacking attack speed, but it doesn't look like he has enough just yet. His team seems to be calling him back. Malzahar has ported back bottom, and he is forcing TF off of that. It looks like the ultimate from TF may bring him back to base. Is he able to stun him? He does not get the ult down. Malzahar could have stopped TF in his tracks, and it looks like he does get back home in time. TF going up top. And it looks like he will port from that position, just going to a random spot to get out of that. The mid tower did go down, in fact, and it looks like they may be able to find Taric here. This is where the word control comes into play. Do they have enough time if Janna can get that right-click attack down and get that slow buff onto him? And she does not. And we're going to see that, Pacific is just forced to be in their base right now.
Yeah, the Twisted Fate doing what he's supposed to do with the split push. I think that We Will Fail could have probably teleported early. They really didn't need him in mid, but they did want to have the 5 people there in case Pacific wanted to go for the team fight. They just wanted it to be as decisive as possible. So they gave 1 tower up to Twisted Fate, who is now just basically pushing bot 24/7. He's just doing nothing else. He's building his Lich Bane there, obviously, and the idea behind the Lich Bane is just every time you use a spell, you're going to have more attack damage on your next attack. You see that little red glowing thing? That's the Sheen currently. Oh, and he will get caught here. Yes, that's the slow from Janna. He doesn't have his ultimate up, and that is one dead Twisted Fate right there.
Yeah, that's really not what you need to happen right now. They're obviously not up in this game, so they cannot lose those people 1 and 1 and 1. You're losing experience in lane, you're losing experience from team fights, you're not gaining the gold that you need to be gaining right now. And it's really just overall snowballing into effect that's affecting the entire team instead of just one person. 4 members alive now, like I said, forced to stay in their base. That's not where you're going to gain the XP. And it's a quick tower pushes coming out of the hands of Fnatic. The global gold still ramping up in their favor. Looks like all of their ultimates are up for the next fight. So they are very confident about this push right here, not too worried about much. Going back into the jungle, looks like they will be going for a quick dragon, more gold into their favor, and they're just making sure they're going to get this one handily.
They're playing it safe, I appreciate that. I mean, they could go for inhibited tower dives right now, and they could probably still win the game that way, but there's $100,000 on the line here, and you really do want to play it safe, and I think Fnatic are doing the right thing here.
Let's see Taric using his clairvoyance. We're going to head over to Dragon, now head over to Baron to actually see it right there on Baron. and nobody is there. So it looks like TF is going to start heading up that way, and maybe to set down a ward. Does he have one? Yes, he does, and there it is. He's going to set it in the tri-bush that goes towards top turret. Looks like Alistar going around to just roam, do what Alistar does, and roam around the map. Tarek finally with an Oracles on their team as well, so they're going to be able to go and clear the wards out of the jungle. A few more wards bought by Tarek. He has 3, but there's still an amount of 10 wards. So wards were placed, and they still have 10 wards on Fnatic's side. Ridiculous, that investment that we were talking about before. It is absolutely controlling the game. They were able to go for Tarek on that one. Alistar has been able to push Karthus various times in top lane because of the ward placement and take him out twice in a row. And it's really just been advantageous to them throughout this entire match. 28 minutes into the game with 5 turrets down. That is most of the main turrets on the bottom right side and the middle of the map. The 1 second defensive turret standing in top lane. And it looks like another offensive push to come as Janna heads back towards that area. She finds 1 ward with inside Baron. She's going to be able to take that out, and within a matter of minutes they may go for Baron after a team fight here.
Yeah, like you said, literally every member of Fnatic had a ward in his inventory at one point, and that's just great. And now Shushe with the Soul Stealer is like, yeah, this is when you buy a Soul Stealer. When you're 805, that's when you buy a Soul Stealer. And yeah, he's doing really, really well for himself.
Oh, wow, the damage output coming from Alistar. Flash away from Karthus, caught in the pool and ultimate. Vi going down as Garen, and it looks like Gibo may go down as well. The Karthus ultimate coming out, but so much damage being done, it's really not going to negate that. And they are going to be able to just focus TF here. He is forced to run out of his own base, and he will be able to make it away. Not somebody you want to chase as they're ghosting. The damage is going to be done here in base, and this may be the final push for Fnatic as they come out very strong in this game, only having a matter of 8 deaths on their side to 23. A very nice job getting caught up. Can he get the pulverize down? Almost taking him down from full health instantly. Alistar with a final hit, almost killing TF from 100% health. An amazing game by Fnatic, amazing control, and even with the substitute, they were able to come out very strong on top.
That was a very dominating performance. I really like to see that. And the AP cow, like I said, it's just always fun to watch. And yes, that was a very, very good performance from Fnatic, considering they're not running their full lineup. Weevilfailure didn't do any mistakes that I saw. Maybe he doesn't have as perfect play as XP does, but he did really well for himself. And I'm really glad to see that they are actually in fighting shape here, because Epic, I have to say, they looked scary. I'm a little scared. I have to admit, I'm biased. I'm rooting for Europe here. I'm European, I'm biased here, and I really want to see Europe taking it. But Epic, wow, that was a scary performance earlier. And yeah, we see the scores right now, 11-06. That's how Shushe ended up with a Death Cap, a Lich Bane, and a Soul Stealer. That game was just way beyond over at that point.
Yeah, creep score on Shushe, 238, the highest score in the game. You know, Pacific just kind of breaking 150 there on their creep score. Like I said, they were absolutely being pushed back in the match. They weren't able to come out of their lanes. You know, right off the bat, still so many wards in the hands of Fnatic right now, able to control the map. Even as the map ended, they had wards. You know, they were ready to continue to fight. They were ready to get another Baron. They were ready to do whatever they needed to do to solidify having zone control over the entire map. They really didn't even focus on the right side of the jungle for Pacific. They were all up on that top side. There was still a turret there, so they were maybe trying to force a fight on that top turret or just force a fight as they went back to Baron. It's something they could have done very easily, and everybody actually played very well for the team. And as you said, 11-0 Shushe, you said coming into the game, the AP Shushe on Alistar is something is just so much fun to watch, and it actually was, because it's so much damage. We saw a TF almost getting taken down in the end of the game right there with just a quick spell reel of what Shushe could do.
Oh yeah, and he times that beautifully as well. He does the headbutt against the wall in that case. He can headbutt him away, lands a Lich Bane hit with an auto attack, then does the pulverize, and then lands another Lich Bane hit. It's just a really, really patient play there on a little burst like that. And I believe we may be setting up for an interview in the near future. The teams, they are huddling. You can see in the yellow hoodie, this is Weevilfailure, who is substituting for XP right now, and we are going to give over to an interview right now with the teams.
All right, guys, we're here with Pacific, and what happened?
Well, we're just trying out our strategies among Euro and NA. We're seeing how the way they play. So yeah, I think we have more in reserve, so we'll see.
Yeah, it seemed the game was intense at the beginning. Those early level fights were insane. And then it just seemed like things kind of went downhill for you.
Yeah, one factor is we're not familiar with the keyboard, so I guess we need to find one
It's kind of a weird keyboard.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, Fnatic, you guys won. How do you feel?
Well, great.
Yeah, you guys did pretty well. Like I said, intense early fight, and you guys just managed to stay strong throughout, and a lot of wards all over the place. But what do you think about your next fight?
I think we were up against AA, right? Yeah. Well, we had a pretty bad time.
Oh, I'm sorry. I guess I should mention that they're playing right after this one, so you don't even really have much of a time for a break or anything. Is that going to be okay?
Yeah, I think, I mean, we played a match now, we're fit. We see we can still do it, even with Pekka not being here. So we're pretty confident playing against them, even considering they lost against Epic Gaming, even though we had a, well, pretty bad time against them in the qualifier.
All right. Well, good luck.
Thank you.
And we'll see you in just a little bit.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the League of Legends Season 1 Championships. We have the third game of the group stage coming up next between Against All Authority and Fnatic. So it's your home court, got two European teams. How do you think it's going to go?
It's a really tough one to call. I mean, we've seen Fnatic just, I'd say, quite easily pass over Pacific. The first game, we saw a really great game, actually. Let's not be brutal about that one, of course. Against All Authority, losing out to Epic. This one is going to be a really great one. Obviously, coming into this tournament, it's Seed 1 versus Seed 3 from Europe. Fnatic finishing third. They actually lost out to Gamed in the second, third place playoff game in the European qualifiers. I think this one is anyone's game right now, just due to the fact that, well, it probably is on any day, actually, anyone's game, but just due to the fact that Against All Authority lost their first game, Fnatic won the first one. I think they're on a real level playing field. The only thing that might work in Fnatic's favor is that they've just won that first game.
It's true. They're coming off of a little bit of momentum. They had the awesome AP Alistair that Xenon, of course, loves to talk about, his favorite player, Shushe. So he'll be back in the lineup again. And Against All Authority, they really are the favorite. They had an unfortunate loss first round, but I think they really are still the team to beat. I don't want to call it a fluke by any means. Epic worked hard, and they did a great job, especially mid to late game. But, we saw the early game. AAA had the better mechanics. They had better last hitting. They had, the first few team fights were theirs. They got the first Dragon. They were winning in turret kills until that Baron. By a lot of the metrics, they're really, really, really beefy still. So I would not count them out at all. AAA vs Fnatic, really a great game. If you asked me, 4 months ago, who are going to be the top two EU teams who are going to win this and are going to go to the finals, I would have been AAA and Fnatic. So, this is really one of the... Sorry?
Wouldn't you have said SK?
I don't know. I haven't personally seen SK, and everyone tells me SK is like the best team on paper, but I've never personally seen them succeed in really high-level tournaments. And of course, they'll be back for Season 2, and they'll probably do great, but AAA Fnatic. So speaking of them, though, we do have the interviews coming up, so we're going to shift that on over to Karen and Traveler.
Hello, I'm here with Kuja from AAA. How are you feeling?
Well, better. We went to eat. Now we come down, so good.
Great, you got some fuel here, and so their next game is going to be a European matchup. You just watched Fnatic play. What were your thoughts on the last game?
On the last game? Still as earlier, we did mistake. We had problems with the hardware, so it's going good now.
Great, and should all be solved now, and so you're going to have a great game. Do you have any thoughts? How is your team feeling right now?
Oh, the team is feeling really good. We checked Fnatic match, how they played, everything. So we know them well, they know us well. That will be a rehearsal of all the match we did versus them.
Great. And how did you prepare to come here to DreamHack? You're playing in front of hundreds of thousands of people right now. No pressure or anything. But how did you guys really prepare for this?
Well, we tried to play every day, at least 3 or 4 match versus other team. And ladder also.
Great. Well, best of luck to you, and back to the commentators.
Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We are here once again. Traveler is applauding me out in the crowd. Thank you very much. We're going to go into this game pretty shortly. The game has not quite yet been hosted, but that will be going on very soon. So I had a train of thought, and I had something to ask you, then I forgot what it was. So now I completely have failed, and I'm completely blank. But strong team is going to do well. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to call Fnatic as the winner for this one, although I did speak to you yesterday and said Against All Authority are my favourites to win the tournament. I think the win in the last game will have given them some great momentum. The only thing I'm a bit worried about is the fact that Against All Authority lost their first game. From Fnatic's point of view, I'm talking now. And they've obviously, as I said, had a little bit of food and had some time to calm down, chill out, and watch Fnatic play, which is a big thing. Obviously, Fnatic watched them against Epic earlier on, which was maybe a bit better of a game to kind of comprehend how Against All Authority are going to play rather than the other way around. I mean, not to take anything away from Pacific, obviously a great team, but Fnatic really had a stable, I'd say, not easy time, but you get my point.
Yeah.
And I think Against All Authority are really going to come out flying in this one, but I think Fnatic's momentum will push them over. Oh, then again, I've guessed one game wrong already today. Why not make it 2 out of 2?
That's fair. Another thing I think is actually pretty big here is, you know, going back to the AAA Epic match, you know, Epic is pretty well unknown. There are only about 5 recorded games on record for a current patch that, you know, AAA could research and find out, you know, the champions they pick and the things they do.
Yeah.
And you know, one can easily say, oh, of course Darius plays Cinch, that's what he does. And there's some, you know, there's some truth to that, but he didn't really play much in the tournament matches in the North American qualifiers. So there's still a decent level of not really knowing what exactly is going to happen. You know, they're not an easy-to-research team. The AAA, I mean, they play every in-cup. They are the Go for Lulz. Sorry, I'm so old school. So there's a lot of, you know, they've played a lot of games from way back when. And so they're easily researched. And I have to believe that Epic really went in there and was like, okay, here's the champions they pick. You know, they had to expect Misfortune. I've seen Yellowstorm Misfortune more times than I can count. And that seems like a very common pick for them. And so they got to sort of strategize around that a little bit, I think.
Do you think we're going to see Against All Authority taking Alistair away from the whole situation in this one after seeing how well Shushe played with him in the last one?
I think so, actually. I was talking with one of the players from Fnatic. I think it was Shushe. I could be wrong, but he's like, yeah, Epic didn't know how to ban against AAA. Like, they don't play Twisted Fate. They don't play Rumble. Like, yeah, those are both really good champions, but they don't learn them. They don't play those champions. Why would you, like, so maybe it is lack of research, maybe. But Shushe was like, yeah, they don't know how to ban. I mean, okay, yeah, they had the good ban on Nidalee, great, because Soaz plays them. But he's like, the rest were wasted. I don't know what you guys are doing. So this is a story where the teams actually know each other much better, and there's a much better chance of these guys actually doing more and more targeted bans. You know, more so than we saw before. You know, I kind of thought that, you know, well, yes, Rumble's aimed at EU style of play. You know, most teams in EU play Rumble, but apparently AAA does not. So I would expect AAA to ban Rumble, because I think that Fnatic more likely is the team that plays that. I have not memorized that very well, but the way Shushe was talking to me, it seems like, yeah, Rumble's going to be a pick. Twisted Fate, you know, again, not going to be worried about it for AAA. I don't know if Fnatic's one to pick him. It was picked by the Philippines team, so maybe that is, you know, highly contentious there. But really, the picks are going to determine a lot about how the teams know each other, I think.
Yeah, and we saw in the European qualifiers actually a great Anivia being played by Moma as well, which you know, maybe something that Fnatic are going to pick up on for that one. I'll be interested to see those bans and picks coming into this match. Obviously, this is an important game for both teams, but maybe more for Against All Authority. I mean, they've got one game remaining after this one. It'll be against the Philippine side, and you know, I think this is a really important game for them because, okay, the top 3 go through, but if you finish in 3rd, you play the 2nd place in the other group. Obviously, the other way around. So it really does matter when that 2nd and 3rd comes in.
Oh, it matters a ton. Not only are you playing, you know, an arguably worse team, you know, over in Group B, you know, the top 3 favorites most people assume are Game DE, Counterlogic Gaming, and Team Solo Mid. But, you know, Zan, the unknown team, right, we haven't seen what they're going to do yet. All we know is they like Pantheon. That's kind of all most of the players know, right? I actually was asked again by the Fnatic team, like, hey, do you know anything about Pacific? I'm like, honestly, no. Like, I haven't seen match VODs. I don't have, you know, any real recaps. I haven't looked for them. So they're pretty big unknown. And we saw, you know, Rageblade TF doing some backdooring a little bit. You know, they had some kind of cool things going on. That bottom lane was hilarious. Janna didn't get a double kill off of that dive because one of them was an execute by minions. But that aggressive bottom lane was really, really powerful. They pushed Corki and Janna back for a while, and it really kept them in that game. They had such a great, you know, bottom lane, whatever. And I think that, you know, it's okay, I think, for Garen and Corki just to trade kills constantly because it's kind of getting you farther and farther behind. If you die and get a kill and you're out of the lane, you end up getting less gold overall a little bit. And so they were kind of keeping Corki down even if they were trading back and forth. And that lane ended up going, I think, to the Philippine team. And you just see cool things like that happen. You're like, they picked up Garen Tarek, and it worked really well. And I think we're going to see the same thing where Zan can do that same thing. So we're talking about Group B, even though we're talking about Fnatic versus AAA, but Yeah, I think we're going to see some crazy things, just overall from the groups. You certainly want to do better and better so that you can play the easier team, which was the entire point of what you asked me, and then I went out and talked about something completely different.
Improvisation.
Improvisation and just...
And of course, Fnatic, if you're only just joining us, are playing with a substitution throughout today. PK actually, I'm not sure if he missed his flight or whether the flight was cancelled or what.
I think it was a delayed flight.
Or
I think it wasn't his fault.
Okay, well, as long as it's not his fault, we'll let him off. But obviously, Fnatic have We Will Fail in here, and he's actually playing on PK's account, so try not to get confused with that too much. I know I'll probably, in a team fight, just call him PK anyway.
Well,
because
thankfully,
that's
I call him by champion names. So now hard doing stuff. Great. Can't screw that one up unless I get the name wrong, but that's a little bit harder to do. Nunu and Amumu, that's the difficult one.
Amumu.
Yeah, that's... Ooh. There's a couple... Oh, there's Cassiopeia and Cassidon. You want to say Cass a little bit? That's not great. There's a couple others. I'm trying to remember the other ones that are really close together that, like, as will Epic fail at. I'm trying to remember.
It'll come to us.
It'll come to us.
Maybe one of the games.
One of the games we'll just see, like, the lineup of everyone... The cool thing is you can actually have a team of all A champions. That's really powerful. We saw that in the North American qualifier. We had like Alistar, Annie, Anivia, Ashe, and then Amumu could be the junglers. So like, and it's a full lineup too. You've got like Mage. Like,
and really confusing when you're going into those teams.
Yeah, it's useful. I think they should do that to troll us. Like, never mind winning $100,000. Just troll the commentators should be in the name of the game here. I think that's the appropriate one to do.
In the final, probably the best time to do it as well.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you're in stage. You got just hundreds of thousands of people watching you. You've got a crowd in person. Just no, we're gonna troll. Let's go ahead and go pirate themed. You should all get pirate skins. I think that'll work really well. Rumble, Katarina, Gangplank for obvious reasons. I think that's a decent lineup right there. Just throw that one out there. Yeah, I think I would just run that strategy.
Ninja team we saw in the European qualifiers actually.
Yeah. I think that's good.
Seemed to work for a while, but not quite long enough. And we're just actually missing 3 guys from Against All Authority. I'm not sure if they're getting their way in here. It looks like it if I take a peek over there. So. You can see on your screen the Fnatic guys who are in good spirits after their first win.
Yeah, they're pretty excited. And there's some interesting chat going on that hopefully won't get shown on stream. Shushay they're basically quoting each other about silly things that get said. I do a lot of those too because I talk so much, as I think we're all well aware here today. I slip up quite a bit, and they're pretty good. Okay, apparently we're getting the players set up right now. They're going to be a little bit delayed, so we have a little bit more time to kill, but certainly going to be jumping into that game as soon as the players are ready. 9 of the 10 are in. We're waiting on the 5th from AAA right now.
Yeah, we're actually basically on schedule here as well. In fact, this game's not due to start until 1 minute. And also, by the way, at the same time, we'll be going on Epic versus Team Pacific. That will have no shoutcast, but I assume is on
it is getting streamed.
Another stream.
There is a secondary stream. I'm not quite sure where it is linked, but we do have someone in the back room opening up the laptop, getting into the game, making sure he's going to stream it to the secondary stream. No, unfortunately, no commentary, but again, we do have the game will be available for those wanting to cheer on the Americas or cheer on the Southeast Asian teams. Game's going to be on there. Really, if I were home, I'd just have 2 tabs open and just have both games open and just watch them both, right? There's the games up there. And thankfully, because there's no audio for the second one, you don't get confused and it'll be great. Not shotguns the wrong games or anything. But yeah, that game is up there. You can go find that. Not quite sure where, but I'm sure you can find it on the forums, on the Season 1 site. It'll be there somewhere, I guarantee that.
Yeah.
But this is the one we wanted to bring to you. It's a fairly old school, I think, European rivalry.
Very. I mean, these two teams, if you look through their kind of history, obviously vary in lineups in Go for LoL and EMS, things like that over quite a while now. There's a big storyline behind these 2 teams. And actually, we heard Kuja saying there in the interview, we know Fnatic well, and it's definitely the same the other way around. So I expect a really close game from this one. And Against All Authority against Fnatic is always a game that can go either way. Depends on the day. Today's Friday. So.
Today's Friday, so.
No, it's Saturday.
Wow. Freaking A, man. I was like, okay, yeah, I'll just believe you, Joe Miller. It's not even like Friday
I feel like
in America.
I've been here in Jönköping for 5 days already, but it's only been 2, but just 2 very long ones.
Yeah, well, certainly the travel days are always fun. When you lose 9 hours because you go forward, at least your travels.
Not so bad, actually.
Yeah, yours
just
is
really early in the morning.
Mine was get up at, well, actually I stayed up the entire night, but left my apartment at 6 in the morning, get on a flight, get on another flight, get on another flight, get on a bus, get to the hotel, wait for our rooms, get into the rooms, try to get electricity working because our converter plugs weren't working, so then finally got my laptop charged. And then we went and got food, and then we came back, and everyone was like super tired. But I was like, no, wait, we gotta stay up and have this meeting about what we're gonna do on Saturday because I got the day right this time. Thank you. Yeah, so now I'm actually awake and have slept last night and it was great. But yeah, you're lucky you know had like a total of 5 hours travel.
Actually, I'm quite surprised that most of the guys don't seem to be jet lagged at all.
Yeah, they
seem
actually
to have beaten it.
Yeah, I mean, some people have talked about how little sleep they got. One fortunate or unfortunate thing, if you want, I was talking with Dan Din, name and summoner, who is rooming with his brother, Reginald, on a different team. Yes, we actually have brothers on different North American teams in this tournament. They're actually in different groups as well, but they might butt heads later. I would love, by the way, if they were actually like 2nd and 3rd seed and like fought each other for like the right to go on to the top 4. That'd be just hilarious drama to me. Then you can just be like, which brother's better? But yeah, so they're rooming together because it's pretty easy to book room for people who are related. That's pretty easy to do, right? Apparently Reginald was like, yeah, I'm gonna stay up. Like my game's later in the day, whatever. Like apparently he was staying up to talk with people or whatever. And Dan's like, I want to sleep. What are you doing? I'm going to DreamHack in the morning.
Sabotage.
Yeah, so he got sabotaged by his own brother. So Reginald got 3 hours sleep. I don't know what Dan actually got, but it's just fun talking with the players and seeing these little things come out. It's kind of interesting stuff.
So we have 4 from Against All Authority. I assume our last one will be on his way here in just a little while. And don't forget, for you guys that are obviously at the event, we do have the Spin to Win wheel where you can win some really cool stuff. Actually today, some T-shirts up for grabs. Obviously, the Riot Fist Bump.
The Riot Fist.
I didn't even spin the wheel.
You could do this right now.
I got 2.
And then you can do the fan.
He told me this one earlier, but I'm not feeling it just yet.
It's awesome because you do the fist bump and then you flick the fan out and then you fan yourself. I think it's glorious. I mean, everyone has their own fist bumps. There's the jellyfish. You know, you can do that one. You can explode. There's one that's the rocket ship where you fist bump and then one like puts his hand up and you kind of like go up like a rocket ship. That's another one. There's so many kinds. There's more. You want? Should we really be discussing fist bumps or should we choose a different topic? I mean,
what is the topic? I forgot already.
So a couple of things to point out, getting things out of the way. So we have a free-to-play area over there. Of course, if you're on the stream, this doesn't matter to you, but if you can see me, hello, it's that way. We have a free-to-play area. Games are installed. Later on in the day, we will have Play versus Riot. We have a ballot box over there in front of the giant banner. Put your team names in, put your players in there. You can play against Riot later today. We will have that going on throughout the week. And that's going to be fun. Quick shout out to Pay Safeguard for sponsoring the HD stream. Thanks to you guys getting that going on. Also, quick shout out to SteelSeries. Actually sponsored us a bunch of mouse pads just in case the players didn't bring their own. A lot of these players, really, it's their first time coming to a LAN event. AAA and Fnatic, I think these are second ones now for IEM. A lot of the American players have not really gone to these yet. And it's really funny watching inexperienced LAN players. They don't bring all their equipment. They forget to bring a keyboard or a headset or a mouse pad or their iPod or whatever it is. Like there's something that like they need and they forget to bring it. Like Shushu's like, I need music going on. I'm like, why don't you have a portable device with music on it? They make those nowadays. I hear you're a professional gamer. You can probably afford those.
I heard there's lots of websites that play music too these days.
Yeah, right. But so you know, we got the sponsored out. You know, big ups there. But you know, at least Fnatic can play both. They met at IEM before. I believe they were the grand finalist teams. And one of the common storylines we've seen in European play is AAA is the best on paper, and I think we talked about this the last time, but we've grown like twice the number of viewers now online, so hello to all the new ones. AAA seem to fail at LAN. That's what they seem to do, that they're great on team, great team on paper, there we go. And then, you know, on LAN they lost to Fnatic in the grand finals at IEM. They lost to Epic here, due to no small part of Epic playing amazing, but like that Baron shouldn't have happened, for example, right? Like, I don't know if it's pressure or what, but they seem to fail a little bit when it really counts.
Yeah, obviously there is a different feeling playing from home in your pajamas or whatever, with your feet on the desk. And playing at a LAN event, I mean, you know, you've got different tables, your chairs are different height, it doesn't feel the same, and it does take a little bit of getting used to, which hopefully from AAA's point of view, that's something that they're getting used to as they go along. Maybe they can attribute that to their loss. I think it was more of the fact that Epic just played such a solid game throughout. But I think the level of play as we go through the day and through the tournament will increase as well. We'll be seeing more amazing stuff from all of these teams as we progress through.
Yeah, and most specifically, watching the cool things come out from these teams is I really want to see what familiar play looks like. You know, we saw Epic with AAA where the teams were pretty much blank slates to each other. Apparently, you know, AAA really hasn't seen Epic play much because they haven't played much.
Yeah.
Epic apparently did not ban properly. If they knew AAA, like Shushe did, he'd be like, of course you would have banned these guys and not Rumble. What are you doing, right? So kind of interesting to see that was unfamiliar play where they sort of just like choose strategies and just let's go for it. Let's mash heads and see what happens. And it worked out well for the Americans. Here we have actually familiar gameplay where they know what they need to ban. They know what champions these guys play. And certainly you have the occasional targeted ban like you had with the ban at Akali from AAA, little at help of them, of course. So interesting to see how that's going to play out. Looks like we have SOAS in the game. He says fixed. We are ready here. All right, I think we're going to move on, and we're going to go for the picks and bans. So stay tuned. Let's, okay, type go in chat. Yes, we are ready to go, I believe. And looks like we are ready to rock the picks and bans. Yep. Second group stage game for AAA and for Fnatic, and here we are. Yellowstar first banning Alistar. Who would have thought?
Look at that. Yeah, not really a surprise after what we saw in that last game against Pacific from Sushi playing Alistar. And the second ban, obviously, coming out from Fnatic will be Irelia. Nice.
Yep. Well, they're so far all targeted. Alistar and Rumble. And, you know, again, they were talking to me about how, Irelia is a really common pick for AAA. Not Rumble, it's Irelia. So, bam. Targeted ban with Irelia, targeted with Alistar and Rumble. It's fun to see these, like, and you look like, oh, they're really scared of SOAS playing Irelia.
Yeah.
Okay. 10 seconds for Cyanide to get his second ban in. For those of you just joining us who are not familiar with how tournament draft works, you can see that on the screen what the picks and bans are. There's another targeted ban with Karthus. So in ranked games, and especially in tournament play, you have not only exclusive pick, where if one team picks a champion, the other team cannot pick it. So if one team picks Caitlyn, it's locked out for the other team. It's exclusive. You can never have a duplicate champion. The second thing is you actually ban champions. There's 3 per team right here. Alistar, Rumble, Twisted Fate, Irelia, Karthus cannot be picked by either team. Generally speaking, that means you target them at the enemy team. If you target Karthus saying, you can't play Karthus, we don't really care if we can play Karthus or not, so it's no big, skin off our teeth. Immediately another targeted ban aimed at SOAS. So that's actually like 2 straight bans aimed at him. Momo, the Karthus player. So aimed at 2 of those players, those strong mage types. So you can ban out champions 3 apiece. There's the 6 bans right there. And then you take turns picking the champion. So Yellowstar has the first pick. I'm thinking Nunu right now. I think Nunu is going to be the giant pick right here.
Yeah, definitely to have that power of the counter jungle that we saw in that last game actually being utilized by Fnatic, and it will actually be Anivia.
Ooh,
so I guess that'll be handed over probably.
Yeah, I forget if it's going to be Momo or SOAS, because SOAS not playing tanky DPS. Double Mage is actually a fairly common lineup choice in EU, as long as you have a tank jungler. And since Amumu and Nunu are both available, you can have a tank jungler regardless of the picks. I don't think they'll run lane Nunu. It'd be hilarious if they did, but I don't think it's going to happen. But interesting to see Amumu pick so quickly, because I was talking with True Eskimo, one of the American players newly joined Riot team, top player 2200 rated or something like that. And he was saying, like, why would you ever first pick Amumu? Because you're letting the enemy team last pick Nunu. And those seem to be the common, like, high pick junglers, those tank junglers. They fit so well into every lineup. They have great counter control and ganking. And well, Nunu has great jungle control. Amumu's just kind of fast. And those are the really common picks. And you're basically letting the enemy team, like, pick a very late, beefy jungler and not really worrying about the fact that, you care about getting Amumu.
Well, we see Ashe being picked up there by Kuja, who will most likely be handed off as well. And Momo now having the second of the picks, or actually it'll be the third one for against All Authority.
So he's traditionally the mage player. I don't know if they're going to pick up a fast support. Probably not. Like right now, the purple team Fnatic have already locked in 2 core roles, Taric and Amumu. So they have 2 big tanky guys now in front, and they have the support in the jungle locked in. So they have a wealth of mages, a wealth of ranged AD, a wealth of support. Well, actually, no support's been picked up with Taric. So really, they can just sort of pick whatever they want at this point. And no ranged ADs have been banned out. Ashe has been taken, but Corki, Misfortune, Vayne, those are all available. And interestingly enough, another point of comparison, Vayne was immediately snapped up by Epic Gaming in that last game we saw between them and AAA. And here it's like, yeah, I'll pick Ashe. That's cool. But Vayne is not this like highly contended pick, so it's really cool to see these different styles mesh out. Where these bans are not bans you would see for the most part in North American play. Ooh, yes, thank you so much. Captain Teemo is on duty, and for those who watch the North American qualifiers, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It was late. I'd been captain for 2 days straight. It's the only excuse I have. I'm about as happy as I was from Dagger's picking Singe last time. They're freaking Teemo, and I hope it's Badger Teemo, just because Honey Badger Teemo. Yeah, I had to. I was told. Oh, I got trolled by XPK. Why would you do that to me? I really wanted to see Captain Teemo. I would zoom in on him and follow him around the entire game, and I would get yelled at on the forums. I wouldn't really, but yeah, anyway, so great picks there. There's a double mage lineup. Really cool to see Brand and Vladimir picked up. We didn't see either of those actually in the last series either, and I think Vlad was banned. Yeah, he was banned. So cool to see Vlad's debut in this tournament. Really good picks there, and there's that Nunu, of course, picked up on Linak, who is actually the jungler, so no swaps needed for him. We see again a chain of flashes down, and Sona, I know this lineup. This is the run around and initiate from 5 screens away and kill one person lineup. This is great. So basically the team comp is Ashe. So Nunu and Sona haste most of the team. Sona gets the entire team. Nunu gets himself +1. With Quitter Reduction, he can get himself +2. They have an Ashe arrow shoot across the map. He hits someone. Anivia walls and Gragas ults. And whoever got hit by the arrow is pushed into the entire enemy team. The entire rest is pushed back a screen, plus they're walled off. And then Sona can also ult. So basically one person just got completely separated out. It's a free kill. And they're going to run this long range, like super pokey lineup, which is interesting because I'm actually surprised they didn't go Janna. Like, they didn't pick a de-aggro champion like Janna to say, okay, well, we're going to flash in and push you away so you stay safe. They're not even getting a heavily, save me champion. Like, they didn't go Zillion for a mage. I guess it got picked already, but very interesting lineup. So the swaps are going through. Looks like AAA picking up Gragas. Oh, sorry, swaps are going through. So yeah. Okay, yeah, so Yellow Star, ranged AD carry, going to be playing Ashe. You've got Momo the mage, going to be picking up Anivia. So he was the Karthus last time, I believe. Yeah. They've got Kuja, support again on Sona this time. Linak again jungling. This time he's got Nunu. And then Soaz, Gragas, Ignite Flash. Going to be doing a lot of damage. Probably the solo top or solo mid. I forget if Gragas if top or mid. Over here on the other side, we got Sign and Defy. Jungling with Amumu. Lamia Zealot playing Misfortune. Again, Misfortune picked twice in a row here on these European teams for their carry choices. Brand is brand new to this tournament. Oh, I'm hilarious. Vladimir, a great mage choice, very, very highly contended. And Tarek is my personal favorite support. I'm really glad they picked him. Every time I see Tarek, he does well.
Well, for you guys that aren't familiar with the new tournament client that we've got with the obviously amazing spectator mode, the teams do get a little bit of time after they finish their picks to obviously change their runes, get their mastery set up, and obviously talk a little bit about how the game's going to go. So 2 minutes they get for that. We've got about 40 seconds left still to go with this one. But from the bands and picks that we've got right now, or obviously more importantly from the picks, who are you looking at to be edging out in this one?
I really like AAA's lineup. I like that strategy. I've only seen it work. I've never seen it fail. So the haste mobility pick across from across the map, really cool lineup. And that's not even just talking about the fact that they have absolute zero, ice arrows and Anivia, the crystalline, Cryo Phoenix. But their lineup is really cool even aside from that. Meanwhile, I mean, it's really, Brand is very fiery. I'm going to stop at the puns now because I'm really bad at them.
The Brand jokes.
Yeah.
Are flowing today.
They're flowing like lava. Okay, but seriously, very, very AoE lineup here from Fnatic. They've got, interestingly though, I like Tarek. He's a really strong champion, but like his stats, like he has an armor buff and he has an AD buff for the team. Neither of those work really well, both with and against the enemy lineup. He has no other AD champions on his team at all, and there's really not a lot of physical damage from AAA. It's really all about Gragas and Anivia. And I mean, yeah, Ashe does some damage, but everyone else on that team has like straight, like strong AP damage. So I think Tarek is still worth getting regardless, but that does happen a little bit. Where we're like, some of his stats are going to go to waste a little bit, but he's, glamorous in pink. That is awesome. The game is loading in, but they have a really strong AoE lineup. Brand, Vladimir, Misfortune, Mumu, all AoE champions. So they can start a team fight correctly. They can crush that team fight. Right? There's a little bit of there's a little bit of dispersion with Gragas, but it's not that same level of real fights. But we are now into the game. Let's go ahead and kick this one off. We are in to the next game. AAA and Fnatic going to try to keep themselves alive in this tournament. Let's get a round of applause for these teams as we go into this game. All right, and here we are. Joe, why don't you kick us off this time?
Yeah, and a fairly standard position. I mean, Fnatic actually going straight down middle, down in towards that bottom river bush, and against all authority, not too dissimilar. They're actually pinging up towards the top area of Fnatic's jungle at this stage earlier on. And they are going to maybe start moving in. We saw Kuja buy 3 wards, so probably tries to get that vision out. Yeah, Linux just dropped the 1 ward that he bought in that fairly aggressive position just by the bush at the Wraiths. And Fnatic still sticking around down by that bottom river area. They're pinging down towards blue and up towards the Against All Authority blue area. But still, no real sight seen. I don't think we've seen the Clairvoyance pop. Yes, we did. Sona dropped a Clairvoyance 4 Against All Authority, and Melisande did, but I'm not sure if they really got any sight from it.
I don't think the teams have really spotted each other yet. I mean, there is the aggressive ward here from AAA, so when Fnatic crosses over towards the lizard side of the map, they'll be fine. Looks like Fnatic went to camp in this brush early on here and say, okay, if you come to aggress us by this golem, we can spot you and jump on you and get the drop. You've got, you know, a Mumu stunning, Tarek stunning, Brand's got a lot of damage output. Vladimir, not the best level 1, probably went Sanguine Pool if he needed it for that fight. But looks like, yep, Fnatic going to get their golem safely. Looks like not even going to get much help. Linak just kind of alone there. There we go. Anivia will come to lend a talon, not really a hand so much. And gonna push that golem out, pull that, tether it out, and there we go. There's the damage output. There's a nice little crystalline shot there. Gonna be fine. And we've got Gragas versus Vladimir up top, and Anivia versus Brand. So Fire and Ice in mid. I'm gonna keep that one played up over this tournament. This is really probably one of the biggest. I think there are 2 major rivalries in this tournament, and they're in the same groups. And it's AAA versus Fnatic, and it's CLG versus Team Solo Mid. And those are really going to be the major, I think, rivalries that are really going to mean a lot here that I think the crowd is going to really want to see. And in addition to the giant overtones of NA versus EU and how good is Southeast Asia, we've got a lot of really cool storylines sort of going on in this tournament. And right now, it's Fire and Ice, and I'm okay with that one right now.
And in middle, actually, we've seen MoMA, as I mentioned before, in the EU qualifiers, playing a very, very solid Anivia game in that middle lane. And Shushi's going to try and actually put some early pressure down there. And does get
shot.
The shot off down on bottom, maybe a little bit of pressure. We saw Lamiu, of course, is playing Misfortune, down to around about a third of his HP remaining in that one. Meanwhile, obviously, the 2 junglers, or at least a Mumu, going about his regular pattern. We saw Nunu go back home and picked himself up some boots.
That's pretty good. You really do want to get fast boots of speed on Nunu. He is probably one of the best ganking junglers. Amumu is very strong. He has a stun, but he's relying on landing that skill shot. So he can get... Oh, and here comes the pressure on a yellow star. He does cleanse, so it's going to be okay. But that cleanse has already been used now, so he's got about 2 minutes, 2.5. I think it's a 150-second cooldown. He's got 2.5 minutes of not super safety. And the thing about Sona is she's not a good babysitter like Janna, where she can push enemies back and really give you a giant burst of heal. She can keep you at full health, but that's it. And the pressure on in mid, gonna hurt pretty bad. She's usually down to about 2/3 health. Nunu and Anivia putting out that ice combo, doing some nice damage, and that's gonna work pretty well. But so far, no major gains, no major strides in. Another Clairvoyance comes off from Tarek. Gonna watch for that jungler. There's a CV there. Sees that Nunu is not going towards the right, just going back into his own jungle. But Mumu is jungling much faster. He's already level 4, going to pick up the rest of that lizard camp, and he's in you know, good places here. He's going to recall back. They know that Nunu is far. They can see the rest of the lane, so he is safe to recall back to his base. Gragas staying in the brush with the Doran's Ring, doing nice damage. PK, oh, actually, not Lemmy Zealot, but We Will Failer getting really, really low here. And if Soaz does still have Ignite up and Flash, he could burst about 300 health. So it's going to be pretty close. This is when the barrel comes out. PK will dodge that one. Sorry. We Will Failer will dodge that one. I'm going to keep getting that one wrong, unfortunately. But MoMA getting pretty low. Here comes another Nunu gank. Just throws an Ice Blast on a Shusha. Looks like level 2 Ice Blast now. So Linak doing pretty well for himself. And coming back into that one. Another Ice Blast comes out. Shusha getting lower and lower. And Linak just being super annoying right now. Sign at FI. Level 4. Has a Philosopher's Stone. Has those 2 wards. That's really good for the team. It's going to drop one right there. It's going to spot. No, maybe not right there. I'm wrong. Going to put it lower, farther down, I guess. Nunu staying relevant, though, in this fight. Has been clairvoyanced, so he will not push in too hard onto Brand. Looks like a Mumu not even going to drop a ward. Is going to get behind Soaz. PK's got to be careful. Jumps onto a barrel and dies to Ignite. What are you doing, bro? He just jumped onto that. Oh, that's... I mean, he deserved it. Well played by Soaz, but that was a kind of a silly mistake, honestly. That makes me uneasy. I don't know. This is kind of silly.
Yeah, and actually Cyanide, when he went in to try and put some pressure onto Soaz, even managed to bandage toss his way onto a minion. Down at bottom, you can see Yellow Star going very, very low, and it will be Lamy who actually finishes it off, but also fairly low in here. And we see the flash from Kuja. Lamy will actually escape that one with 56 health remaining. And well, it was a nice aggressive push from Kuja, but didn't quite have that damage output. Lamia is still hanging around there, though, and we are going to see a little bit of action kicking off in middle. There is Ignite onto Linak. Is he going to survive? 20 health. Good flashing from Shushi, and that will be the kill. Moma just out of range there, and that could have been very dangerous for Moma as well, and he's actually going aggressive there.
He's got Egg, and Shushi's out of mana, so Nivy's fine to play aggressively here. Can throw out a ton of spells. There's the blast coming out, not quite getting the damage. Oh, but he's going to get egged right there by Shushi. Oh, there's the ultimate, and yes, he has been egged finally, and what else can they do? Soaz showing up. Looks like they're not doing a whole lot there. PK pushing up mid. Sorry, I got desynced in the spectator real quick. Looks like we're back, and Shushi taking a ton of damage, getting dropped by Soaz once more. Sorry for that desync. It's like, Nivy is egged still. What's going on? And then we caught up, so apologies there. But yeah, I've mostly, I've seen a lot of aggressive play this game, but the deaths have almost been entirely from mistakes where, Ash turned back around to fight Misfortune and died when she got away. It was PK, or it was really Weebo Failure actually failing and rocking back into that Gragas barrel. But Soaz playing a wonderful game right now, doing lots of work. He is 2-0, 37 minions. We can see tons of last hits on all sides, and he's going to push PK into that turret, taking a lot of damage right there, and the body slam. Oh, it's going to be close, and there's the barrel. He's not going to quite land it, but he jumps right back in there, picking up that kill. Great play by Soaz, 3-0, really earning himself these kills right now. Really, really wonderful play. And yeah.
And they try to maybe get Soaz out of the game, taking Aurelia away, just showing that, well, Gragas can do the business for him as well.
Yeah, it's wonderful to see AP Gragas running around, throwing out barrels and doing wonderful stuff. And he's actually going to pill back, grab some new items, got a ton of ability power, and he's going to grab, it looks like a catalyst, actually.
Yeah.
Whoa, I scrolled randomly. Okay, we're back. So how do you think this game's shaping up so far? 3-2 so far, slight gold advantage and kill advantage to AAA.
Yeah, that slight advantage. The problem is from Fnatic's point of view that 3 kills have all gone to Soaz, so they need to be very careful about what's going on up in that top lane. And maybe, Amumu has to start to shine in there. The problem is Gragas, and even when you get 2 guys on him, he's not the easiest person to kill in the world. So I think they're going to really struggle. We actually get the stun in there. Yellow Star will manage to get himself out, but it's Kuja that's now getting the focus from Lamia. And of course, Kuja will keep herself alive with that one. We'll heal Yellow Star up first of all. And the minions coming in onto this tower, and we may just see Bran come down for a cheeky attack.
Yeah, we are going to see Bran coming through the jungle a little bit. He might invade onto the Lizard. Looks like it's not quite what's going to happen here. Ash still at bottom lane. Looks like she tossed out a hawk shot. And as we sync up into the game, Bran's going to come in towards the bottom. Super tall, by the way. That guy is gigantic. And they're going to push onto this turret. They've got a 3-man push at bottom lane. They are in position to defend Dragon if it needs to happen, and they are up, and the damage output is going. Melisande is not level 6, so cannot add any bonus damage. Looks like not too much will happen here. Still, Soaz and PK, and I keep getting that one wrong. We will fail there, fighting up at the top lane, and we will fail there. Gonna last hit a few of these minions. Soaz with a ton of ability power. You can see just getting these guys out of like 5 health apiece. There's the ultimate coming in as well, just constantly harassing him. He's going to recall back to the base, actually. Looks like he'll pick up his catalyst. Another barrel comes out there, 29 gold picked up. We will fail there, still last hitting as best he can, doing a decent job there. And it's still a 3-man bottom and Amumu in mid. Looks like they're not ready to let Amumu go whack into the jungle. So they're just going to keep pushing out here. Anivia doing a wonderful job at killing these minions out. Has golem buffs. These guys are dying, and it's pretty much for free. So Moma just farming out tons of gold. Going to get top creep score pretty soon. 63, 66, 64 on his team. So all the AAA members within 3 minutes of each other, and all in the 60s at only 9.5 minutes in is really, really strong. Meanwhile, we got the 40s and 50s for these guys down here on Fnatic.
Yeah, really nice stuff so far from Amumu. Obviously, Cyanide that's playing that one, but Fnatic are that 1 death behind, or 1 kill behind as it should be. And it looks like they're possibly shaping up for a dragon kill here. There is a ward in place actually from Against All Authority, so they need to be a little bit careful. The problem is that Against All Authority don't really have anyone near there that can actually come in and challenge that one. So Fnatic are going to take a dragon, and it's going to be completely free without taking any damage whatsoever. Gragas is pounding away up on that top tower as the rest try and get themselves back into position, but Soaz is going to have a bit of a field day and probably going to take this down to around about a 3rd health.
Yeah, he'll have to pull back pretty soon. There's only about 5 shots left in these minions before he has to retreat. But he's doing tons of damage while he can. Unfortunately, a minion almost got in his way, couldn't body slam out, but he managed to make that shot out. And yeah, honestly, it was really good play by Fnatic because I don't know if they knew that Nunu was gone, but they certainly knew where the rest of the team was. And yeah, they just jumped as all 5, and there was really no reflexes left and no time available for the other team to come back in and stop that. Nunu, though, still jungling very strong. Has picked up Lizard buff. Did not pull Ashe over to pick that one up, though. I kind of would have done that. I would have given Ashe the Lizard and let her run around. But Nunu is, of course, a strong ganker with Ice Blast and this Lizard buff. Just adding those slows together going to be quite a lot to deal with. We will fail her. Only level 8 against Soaz is 10. Some of that is, of course, champion kills. Some of that is just Soaz playing wonderfully right here. And yeah, he's going to just drop these minions down as best he can. Going to pick that one down as well. And he keeps going back into the rush when he pushes those down. He never really goes for the turret damage. He's always sort of cognizant of being ganked. So he kind of stays pretty passively, kills the minions down, tries to see if We Will Failure can last hit anything. Manages to push a few of them away from him. You can see it's 85 to 54. So giant gold advantage, not even counting champion kills. And they're doing a good job here.
Yeah, right now, Shushi starting to look like he was going to push a little bit in middle, but not quite. Down on bottom, Melisande not so long ago actually forced Ashe to once again use that cleanse. Really feeling Yellow Star that he wants to be safe rather than sorry when it comes to getting those stuns from Taric. And both times I think that we've seen it with his cleanse up, he's used cleanse instantly on it and got himself right out of that any possible trouble that might come his way. We've got Soaz, as per usual, at top, just exploding those barrels and doing a ton of damage. Actually already has his blasting one plus the catalyst in place.
Yeah, he's getting pretty beefy up there. He's got 91 ability power with very little of that from items, so the Runes of Mastery is kicking in for him quite nicely. Look at the carries over here. Lamia Zealot, only with Berserker's Greaves and a Doran's Blades, who's not super farmed. Yellow Star only with 2 Doran's Blades and no special boots, so the attack damage carries really haven't been back to base much to buy any major series of items. 12.5 minutes in is too early for a giant thing like a Black Cleaver or an Infinity Edge, but certainly they can probably pick up a BF sword in the near future if they haven't gotten enough gold for it yet. They should be soon. You can see Miss Fortune, 76 minions, but the first to break 100, Anivia and Gragas both. So still, AAA, we saw that last game where they were fighting Epic. They just have the mechanics down. Their players are really good at killing minions. And that gold shows 15.3 to 15.0, which is almost nothing, but realize that Fnatic got a dragon kill. And their jungler has 56 minions to Nunu's only 35. So, Amumu, like I said, is a very fast jungler, very good at killing these monsters down and getting himself leveled up. Nunu more of an aggressive ganker style, and it shows with the extra kill they've gotten, although he hasn't assisted on anything. So I take it all back. Nunu's actually been a bit of a depreciation for them. He hasn't invaded well. He hasn't really stopped Amumu. He hasn't got that many kills. He's only died. He's behind in minion kills compared to the enemy jungler. So Amumu actually really outplaying this one. Props to Cyanide.
Yeah, Cyanide, as I mentioned, just doing a fantastic, solid job at the moment. But the rest of your team a little bit behind there. Kuja coming under fire, but obviously gets herself out of that slow from Miss Fortune. Won't be too much of a problem. So as per usual, is just hugging this top bush and causing a few problems to We Will Fail Her. And that top tower is very, very low as well. Down to 280. That's gone probably on this next wave.
You can do it.
We'll see We Will Fail Her going a little bit aggressive. There goes the charge in. And actually the ulti being used onto Peak. Or onto We Will Fail Her, as it actually
And here
is.
comes Momo. He's going to land the stun because he already used Pool. He's going to flash out, but that's going to be a turret kill, so you are right. It will die in the next push. Good job there by Soaz, picking up the first turret kill of the game, bringing them up 17.8 to 16.8, so 1,000 gold there. 3-2 on the champion kills, 1-0 on turret kills. Still the minions with the advantage. Down on Dragon, but that's not the hugest deal in the world. It just means gold, and they're winning on gold, so whatever. Down at the bottom lane, just Lamia Zealot farming away. 95 versus Ashe's 109, so still just by almost every metric I could think of, AAA winning this game by a little bit.
Yeah, BF sword and pickaxe for Ashe.
Oh, that's pretty powerful. That's going to be a lot of nice damage for her as we're going to watch her leave over towards mid lane. Still has the 2 Doran's Blade as well, so 186 attack damage. Lamia Zealot, 141, has picked up, looks like a Bloodthirster Rush. That has the BF Sword and the Vampiric Scepter. And yep, there we go, 2 wards as well. Good play. So that's pretty good. He's going to go for the Bloodthirster. Ashe going to go for Infinity Edge with the BF Sword and Pickaxe. About halfway down on that item. Still needs the Crit Cloak and the Recipe. And you see Melisande taking over mid.
Kuja's just put down the pink ward as well on by Dragon, so they can be sure that they don't miss this next one, as obviously what happened in the last time. And Against All Authority have pushed straight through this middle tunnel turret, so it looks like they could be going just straight through here. I mean, I'm not sure what Fnatic can really do to stop this at this stage. Brand will join in, but by the time he gets anywhere near, it will be down. And there goes the Ice Arrow. And we will see even the ulti coming out from Gragas. And Shushi is so low, but Soa's actually flashed over, trying to get in there closer, but was just a little bit too far away. Obviously, we saw on the bottom there, Lamia for Fnatic pushing that bottom turret, but, you know, bottom turret for 2 in the middle, not quite an even trade.
Yeah, not quite. And actually, they've timed themselves perfectly for this Dragon attempt. Looks like Fnatic is coming down to stop them. I don't know if they can jump in quite in time. Looks like, yes, the wall comes out from Anivia. Beautiful play there. They're going to keep on this, but they're still getting into range. This is going to be really close. Yellow Star is still taking all the damage from that Dragon. Kuja getting pushed back by Misfortune. It's getting lower and lower. Who's going to pick it up? Looks like AAA will get the Dragon kill, and they're going to move on. They have made XPK dance. We will fail their dancing quite a little bit as Vladimir. Damage coming out on the moment. PK getting lower and lower. Will he die to Ash? He heals himself again, but Ash will pick up that kill. Misfortune pushing back onto the enemy team. Looks like they're going to be just barely okay there, but more damage coming in from Fnatic. They're going to try to pick up onto Linak, and that will happen. So 1-1. The Dragon picked up by AAA. Good advantage there. But they're still in decent shape.
Yeah, they've lost only 1 from that one. It's not too much of a terrible situation. Obviously, they did take down We Will Failure as well with Vladimir. And we almost saw Nunu get away as well. Unfortunately for him, Melisand's stun cooldown was just finished in time, I think, once he got out of there. And it looks like Fnatic will be going home. And I guess we will see Lamia be completing maybe his Bloodthirster at this stage. I'm not sure how much farm he's got. No, not quite.
So as they're getting closer and closer to Rabadon's Death Cap, has the catalyst just for the landing and the overall durability, picks up that blasting wand and goes for the Death Cap, and it is up there. 274 ability power, 2 wards also in tow. Look over at Yellow Star. Still, he has finished his Berserker's Greaves now, but has not yet finished Infinity Edge. His Lizard will help him, give him 60 gold right there, plus that Lizard buff, of course, super powerful whenever he attacks. His physical attacks will slow enemy champions and units and add a damage over time effect. So every time he hits a guy, it's going to be really, really easy to chase him down. Ash already is very good at slowing enemy champions, has those frost arrows both on basic attack and on volley. So right there you see volley coming out, snow beneath the feet. Really good at keeping that one going. This rough going to be picked up on Lamia Zealot. Does not quite still have Bloodthirster, but getting more and more gold over time, going to be closer and closer to that item. Really wants to farm that one up and add a ton of attack damage, which will give her really, really powerful ultimates.
I'm surprised actually that we've not really seen an Oracle come out from either side just yet.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, Kuja not wearing an Oracle, though she might have died with one. No, no deaths there. We look over at Melisandre. Melisandre doesn't have it. Yeah, neither team has ever even tried to pick one up. We did have the pink ward down earlier, although it didn't really help Fnatic very much, as they got Dragon anyway. They did manage to get a gank there, which worked all right. They got 1 kill for 1, which is not too bad, but it was a kill onto Nunu, and Nunu's been dying anyway, so it's not really the best kill you want. Vladimir 0-3, unfortunately, kind of sandbagging the team, but has a lot of spell vamp, so that will add up for Brand. It will add up for Amumu. It will add up for Misfortune. Misfortune does have her Bloodthirster finally. And so over the next 5 minutes, you're going to see Fnatic start to power up quite a bit, actually. You're going to see them be more powerful than they have been. And a nice little ward. They're actually dying to minions, though. Kuja puts a ward down, and it drops to the OP Purple Caster minions of Forum lore. And then AAA is ready to push the top turret.
Yeah, they're there with all 5 Fnatic. Not so far away, though. Hey, you have to be careful now. You see the Bandit toss coming in onto Yellow Star. Ultimate used by Amumu. And we see Linak in a little bit of trouble. There goes the Ice Arrow from Ash. We go down once again. Vladimir, who is now 0-4-1. Not having the greatest game in his life, is We Will Fail It. And Against All Authority will quite happily take that one and continue to push in a 5-on-4 fight. Shushi fairly low as well, as Soaz manages to grab the aggro from that tower. But they are going to just push in there, and obviously Soaz's barrel, so much poke, the wall from Anivia, and this is something that you talked about before the game even started. They can control the way that Fnatic have to be positioned.
Yeah, and it's working gloriously for them. They really are. There's a nice play there where they put the barrel out and then drop the wall down here, so that even if you pass the wall, you'd walk into a Gragas barrel with like 500 damage, and you don't really want to do that. So they give themselves a nice number of turret kills, 4 turrets to 1, 5 kills to 3 overall. Now up about 3,500 gold. So they're bringing up the advantage. It's not, 3,500 is not a lot. It's less than 10%, so that's not a huge, well, actually, sorry, it's more than 10%, less than 20. Mouth is hard, apparently. Nice. Mortimacia yells out in the crowd. It's so fun being here at DreamHack. It's people cheer for kills, people yell into Demacia. It's super awesome. It's great to be here.
Yeah, great atmosphere. And it's only the first day, actually. People are still arriving, so I assume it's going to get even crazy here on the League of Legends booth. Down at the bottom, we've got Yellow Star actually pushing alone, but he's got no minions with him. He will have Linak and Kuja to join in with him, so this bottom turret possibly going to come under a little bit of pressure. There are all 5 still there, though, for Fnatic, so I'm not sure exactly how well this is really going to work out for Against All Authority, but we've seen them before pick off the first kill using those great ultis of the Ice Arrow from Ashe and also the Gragas Super Barrel. And they are still